shirt's riding up on you. Before the show, when I told you, people probably think, get out in front of the camera. You standing right in front of the camera. People probably think that I never shower, never change my clothes, so I wore a different pair of shoes today. Because I have the same fucking hat, the same pair of jeans, the same shirt, all that shit. So I put a different pair of shoes on to at least flex it a little bit. So, all right, I'm done trolling you. We're back. It's season 3, and I feel like we've been out of the fucking studio forever. But hell, we were just in here recording bonus content. Time flies when you don't have to come and do 2 or 3 episodes a week like we did to grind out season 2. Then you're like, fuck, I kind of want to get back in the studio and record some shit. So, welcome everybody to season 3 of the Screaming Idiots show. It's been a hell of a ride, and we just keep getting, in our opinion, getting bigger and better. Hopefully you guys agree. We've got a hellacious lineup for season 3. Everybody that listens to the show knows that our guests are just as much a part of this show as we are, and we've got some fucking awesome ones lined up for you that you guys are going to get to hear this season. First, I want to mention that we're going to have a part 2, a callback, an encore for everybody's favorite guest in our most downloaded episode, Derek Muncie from episode 4, Rules of Evidence.
One more song,
baby. We're going to bring his ass back on, drag him back in here, and get him talking again. And we'll probably end up recording for another 3 hours. But hey, like I just said, that was still our most downloaded episode. So 3 hours must have been not enough. Hell, we could have recorded for 6. Easy.
Yeah, we could have just kept going for a very, very long time.
I think we quit at 1:30 in the morning? 1:30 in the morning? Was it that late?
I think it was closer to midnight, but we all hung out for a while.
So, yeah, that's true.
Well, and it was just such an organic conversation that, like you said, it just could have kept going.
Oh, yeah. So we got Derek coming on. I think we've also teased these guys before, but we've got Brad and Justin from the band Sour Blood coming on, and we're going to talk about all things Sour Blood. Talk about Brad's side project. Remind me again what the name of that is.
Stand Your Ground.
Stand Your Ground. Yep. So, and then we're also going to talk about the Barnyard Bash, the big show here in Southern Ohio coming up late this summer. Actually, it's in October now, isn't it?
September.
September. So,
September.
So late this summer. I'm going to talk about that. We also have, we've just confirmed this prior to recording this episode, Daniel and Andrew Lott from the band Waste of White are going to come on. You guys know that I have meat rode Waste of White several times on this show. Those dudes are fucking awesome.
This motherfucker gets the meat sweats when he talks about them.
I do. Waste of White gets me going. So can't wait to get those guys on. And also Ray Kinzer, who is a show promoter, right?
Yep.
Preston, you can
just
talk a little bit about him.
What's it been, Tyler? 3 years we met Ray? Probably maybe 4 years ago we met Ray at the first barnyard that we had played, and he had done photos for us. Mm-hmm. And just an overall genuine dude. And that's when we had found out that he was a promoter. We just thought
he was
there
a photographer.
I thought he was a photographer. And
he was there with Adam
Signs.
Yeah.
Was he with Adam at the time?
Because I believe they had they were kind of together on the Misfits Productions.
Okay, at the time. Yeah. So Ray had approached us shortly after our set and wanted to book us up in Newark. And that was our origination to the Newark scene.
Was that the show with Waste of White?
This was at the barnyard.
They started coming around later on.
Yeah, probably a year and a half after us.
Okay.
We had played up in Newark.
I've only been to that one
times.
show in Newark. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, and this was when he started booking us, this was at the original Muddy Creek Saloon.
Okay.
So we built a bunch of relationships off of Ray because of him getting us into that scene there.
It's all about what Tyler we talk about on that episode bonus content we did, building your network.
Yep. Yeah, and it was the coolest thing about it was he didn't feel like a promoter. There was no promoter feel to him whatsoever. Yeah. It was just a good dude that wanted to book bands and put on good shows.
Yeah.
And he was just here to help the bands out.
Man, I laugh because the promoter we had worked with the most prior to meeting Ray was dude, David Kevorkian.
That last name.
You gonna slander his name on here?
Fuck yeah.
That last name
so
sounds
like
I
well, look, I never had a problem with the dude. We played several shows with him. He always treated us fairly, but I also knew like what to look out for, how to protect ourselves and dealing with promoters and stuff like that. This dude has so much fucking hate on him. There's like Facebook pages out there where all they do is just talk shit about him and the bands that work with him. And a lot of them just kind of fucked themselves when they worked with him. Weren't really paying attention, but he kind of did some fuck shit too to deserve it. I remember there was a big issue with, he did a show for OTEP. We had played with them up at the Alrosa Villa, and it was one of those shows where we just did not fucking fit in because we were way too soft to be playing with OTEP. But he did a show with OTEP and fucked them over bad. Ooh. Like, he was supposed to pay them up front with a certain amount of money when they got there, stuff like that, and he was supposed to show them some hospitality, and then just kind of him-hauled around, was like, yeah, can you, like, you do this kind of check or whatever on the payment, and obviously one of those situations where, like, he was planning on that check bouncing kind of thing.
Jesus.
I don't know, there was a whole situation about it, pissed a lot of people off, and so yeah, dealing with people like that are just crooked as fuck, and then dealing with someone like Ray who, really takes care. Yeah, he takes care of the bands that he works with, and he really cares.
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, we're the most diverse podcast out there when it comes to guests. We get lawyers, we get other bands, we get fucking show promoters. I'm teasing it. It's not confirmed yet, but we got something in the works. The communication has been started. We might be having a radio DJ come on. We're working on it. Not dropping names. It's not confirmed. The talks have begun. We're working on it. We're moving up in the fucking world, I think.
We're trying.
So, we're not a news station here. We don't just want to report on current events. We want to educate you guys and learn you something. So, with all these different, variety of guests we have coming on, we know that each and every one of them brings something different to the show, and can provide different insights into every aspect and avenue of the music industry. So, super excited about all the guests we have coming for this season. I know you guys are too. Couple of reminders. Make sure you follow all of our social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of it, at TSIS Podcast. Keep up to date on all things going on with the show. We always post clips. We're always interactive with people on Twitter and TikTok and whatnot. If you want a t-shirt, please reach out to us, and we will get you guys your shirts. And I think that's all I had to cover for housekeeping items. So, oh God, here we go. So if you're a Patreon subscriber and you listen to some bonus content from episode 2, or if you're a longtime listener and you listened to episode 1, the very first episode that we did when it was just me and Tyler, you've heard some Avenged Sevenfold slander. And we were going to...
It's not slander if it's factual.
That's fair. We'll get there. Give me a second. We were done with it after that bonus content episode that Tyler and I did in season 2. Like I said, that's Patreon exclusive. So if you want to hear all the bonus content, you want early access to every season, early and unlimited access to every season, jump on Patreon, look up the Screaming Idiots Show, subscribe to the Backstage Pass for $5 a month. You get it all of it, all the time. So, shameless plug. Shameless plug. But I said we were going to be done with the Avenged Sevenfold slander, but Preston didn't get to partake in the bonus content because he had other commitments that he couldn't make it that night. So he's like, I got to talk about it. Because by the time that you guys are listening to this, you know that they've put out a couple new songs. And Preston, I'm just going to let you go first, and we'll just go ahead and piss off the rest of our Avenged Sevenfold fans on here.
Well, if you are an Avenged Sevenfold fan listening, fuck you.
We are unapologetic.
So, and I don't have a lot to say in regards to them boys and what do they call them, A7X?
A7X.
But I was scrolling through the YouTubes in my huggle last night or the night before.
Our second shirt is just going to be cartoon you in a huggle.
Yep.
That's our next shirt.
Hey, if your wife keeps the house cold, get you a huggle. I need to be a damn sales rep for fucking huggles. So I was scrolling through YouTube's and because of like your recommended videos or whatever, a bunch of guitar covers pop up a lot of the time because I watch a bunch of guitar content. And I seen Avenged Sevenfold, this dude covering it. I don't remember the name of the song. And I was like, well,
the
fuck
newest
it.
one is called We Love You.
Oh, figures. Yeah, so I shouldn't have listened. Well, I listened to them play this damn guitar cover, and I was baffled. I thought like it was a joke the first minute of the song.
Like it was a parody.
Yes, I thought
Yeah.
they were trolling people.
Yeah.
And of course, this guy's covering it, so it's not, he didn't make the song, but as I listened to the music, and I'm like, wait a second. So I'm listening. I'm like, yep, this shit's fucking horrible. And it gets about a minute and a half in. I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it was only 20 seconds
You
in.
made it that far?
It switches to another part. And I'm like, all right, they might go into something here.
Yeah.
I'll give them a second. It got even worse. It was fucking putrid, dude.
Bro.
It was fucking, I heard sounds that I've never heard before.
You remember that one Metallica song? I can't remember what it was. It was off of Load or Reload where James is like, see you crawling. That whole song sounds like that.
Dude, like I've blocked that sound from my brain. I don't even remember what the song sounds like anymore.
Listen, and
I have yet to listen to it.
Oh,
we'll save you the tragedy.
I don't want to die today.
So okay. If you get on, Twitter or TikTok or whatever, and you find one of those posts of that song, and you see all these Avenged Sevenfold fans that are like, oh my, it's, shout out to them for being brave enough to be different. I'm glad that, everybody hates a band when they want to change their sound.
Different compared to what?
Yeah, when they change their sound to dog shit.
Different
literal.
compared to something good?
Like, dude, I'm sorry, but if I understand that Avenged Sevenfold has always had this
Different.
cult-like following of fans that are so loyal to them on every level, and I get that because a lot of those bands have that, and it's okay to change your sound and be different. Like, we've talked about bands that have done that, and just because we don't like it doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah.
Right? We
Yep.
talk about All the Remains that changed.
Yep.
They're still writing good songs. It's just not. It's what do they? The new term that I've been seeing is octane core. Like
Yes,
Sirius
I've
XM,
seen that. I heard that
Octane,
the other day. Yep.
So that's like what a lot of those
Yep.
bands did. They went to octane core.
Somebody had said the other day.
Went from butt
I
rock
think it
to
was in
Octane.
relation to the new Mod song. Somebody said, "Well, I'm glad it's not octane core."
It's
or
definitely
whatever.
not octane core.
And maybe he was referring to Dark Divine. I don't know because it was softer.
that album is not soft. It just
No,
doesn't have good
exactly.
production.
Yeah.
But anyways, all these Avenged Sevenfold fans, I'm telling you, you people are fucking lying to yourselves and you're lying to the internet. It is not good. That is not subjective.
Nope.
That is not subjective.
Nope.
That is not good music. It
I
is
bet those
fucking.
people think Epstein killed himself. Or didn't.
Yeah, they think he killed himself. Yeah. It is not subjective. I'm looking directly into the camera. The new Avenged Sevenfold is fucking ass. Like,
It's
look,
not even fucking ass because that's fun. But like,
It sounds. It sounds better when I have diarrhea.
it sounds better when I'm not listening to it.
Yeah. It's
Like-
fucking.
Look, y'all probably think that we're fucking haters and we're just being elitist gatekeepers of metal, but there is a difference between good music that's different and music that just fucking sucks.
I got the meat sweats while I listened
I'm
to it
sweating
because I
right
was
now.
so embarrassed.
Like,
it was bad, dude.
and I just
It is bad. Excuse me.
I don't understand what the direction they're trying to go in, because it's like they just throw a bunch of sounds together and Matt tries to sound as absolutely shitty as he possibly can on vocals. And I
told
get it.
you on the bonus episode, they literally were drunk one night and were like, I bet we can write some dog shit ass music and people still love it. Hold
that
my
how-
beer.
I
Is that
wish
how you
we-
know you're fucking huge?
I was gonna say, I hope
Yeah.
we get to that fucking level one
Is that
day.
how you know
man.
that you're huge? That
I
you
want to
can
be
make-
I want to be so popular that I just fart into a fucking microphone and people are like, Bro, he's an artist.
Like, listen,
It doesn't sound like the old stuff, but it's still good.
I don't understand why people hate on bands when they want to be different. It's just different. Yeah.
Oh, did you hear me hit that high note?
It sounds like they're finger blasting a dog.
Hear the way you brought it home with that low girdle.
Oh, man, that's metal as fuck. Like, dude.
Dude, it's so bad.
I'm sweating right
Yes,
now,
I am
bro.
too.
Well, I'm drinking
I don't
bourbon,
know
and
if it's
that's not
bourbon,
helping.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Sponsored by Blanton's. But,
Fuck you, Ace Heaven X.
dude. Y'all
Jesus
suck ass.
Christ.
Y'all suck ass. Like, listen, I talk shit about Sleep Token any chance I get because I don't like their music. I still think they probably write pretty good songs. It's just not something I like.
Yeah.
But I mean, I promise you, if there is somebody out there that really actually likes this shit, they probably listen to nothing but progressive industrial metal, and they want to hear the guitar fuck a robot.
Yeah. That was the funniest tweet the other day when I heard that.
So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. If you really truly like it, there is no hope for you. What's that? What was that? That Slipknot album, All Hope Is Gone.
Yep.
It's gone. Bye.
It's been gone.
So,
It's like breathing in sulfur.
yeah, not great. All right. Well, the Avenged Sevenfold hate train rolls on. I think we're going to change the name of this podcast to A7X Hate Train or something like that. We all agreed on this. We do want to talk about a band that I am dumbfounded that none of us in the umpteen number of episodes, and we're on season 3, and we have yet to, I don't even know if we've mentioned this band, let alone talked about them at depth. Wage War. And this is a band that I know all of us, well, maybe not you, Tyler, I'm not sure, but Preston and I got into on their first album on Blueprints.
There was a certain time where they were our favorite band.
Oh my God, easily.
They filled a gap, and I can't remember who it was between, but they had filled a
Polaris.
gap for it. Was it?
Yeah, it was before Polaris. Well, it was they were a great bridge band from, like, because when they released their first album, Blueprints, that was right around when, like, All That Remains changed their sound, and Bullet changed their sound, and Tim Lambesis from As I Lay Dying was in prison. So,
Yeah.
like, there was this void there, and Wage War kind of filled that. And these dudes, they have 4 albums, right? Blueprints, Deadweight,
Yep.
Pressure, and Manic.
Yep.
Every single one of their albums is fucking fantastic. And I think the point...
In their own way. Even.
Yeah, they're different, right? So the point that I really wanted to drive home about Wage War is they are one of those bands that... We talk about bands that a lot of times when they go mainstream or they gain a ton of popularity, they change their sound so much and they go to that octane core and they change... I call it radio core, but octane core sounds cooler. They change their sound to that and they stop writing good songs and they just start writing cookie cutter shit.
Yeah.
Dude, Wage War has never done that. Their song, they are such... I mean, Cody is an incredible songwriter, and he's got some fucking pipes.
Yes, he does.
And they can do it all. You talked about before the show, Preston. I'll let you dive into it, but their acoustic shit is incredible. This is a band that I listen to on almost a daily basis. I have every album downloaded on my phone, and I'm just blown away that we have failed to talk about them, and I know they have a huge fan base appropriately.
Yeah.
Because they are so fucking fun to listen to.
Dude, I remember when Deadweight, or just before Deadweight had dropped, me and you were so fucking excited for that album.
Bro, and that album
And I
did not
remember
disappoint for me.
hearing, before Deadweight had dropped, I remember hearing A Day to Remember's, I believe, frontman. I can't remember the guy's name, but I think he dabbles into like production and stuff. And
I think you're right on that.
He
He's a
had
cool
helped
dude, too.
produce Deadweight.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and of course the singles that they had released off Deadweight
Well,
were
they only
awesome.
put 2 or 3 out.
Yeah, it wasn't
How
a
many-
whole lot.
How many songs
but-
are on that record, Deadweight? I don't have my phone,
give me
obviously.
a second.
Tyler, give me a number.
12.
12.
12
Yeah, it was
were
like
on
2 or 3 singles.
Yep.
It was perfect.
Mhm.
That was it. That album came out in what, 20...
I was about to ask how many fucking singles did they release?
2019 or...
I think
was that 2019 that record came out?
2017.
Okay, Blueprints was in 15?
15.
Okay.
Yep.
So, 15, 17, we've talked about it before. Bands were not dropping half the fucking album as singles
Yeah.
at that point.
Yeah.
So they teased it
'Cause they weren't
perfectly.
fucking stupid.
Yeah. And which you can tell on Apple Music, the singles have stars next to them.
Yeah.
you're right. We were juiced out of our mind
Yeah.
for that record, and it did not disappoint at all.
No.
Like, oh,
And a side note, and we'll get back to Wage War real quick, but I think every metal band on the face of the earth has a song called Gravity.
yes. Yes.
Are you even metal?
Yeah.
It's absolute
It's
metal,
as fuck. It is.
Yep.
And I have yet to see them live. I don't think any of us have seen them live.
No. I think I had a chance.
But I've got some buddies that have seen them live and if you watch them on social media live, crowd interaction. I mean, they
nuts.
just put on a hell of a show. And I absolutely want to go see them because, like, they remind me so much of, and people might think I'm crazy when I say this, they remind me so much of Miss May I, in the sense of, Tyler tilted his head. Okay, so just bear with me here.
I'm bearing.
I understand that Miss May I is maybe a little darker
I'm bearing.
and releases a little bit more darker themed music compared to Wage War, but I've seen Miss May I live twice. And they just, Levi, and I mean the whole band's stage presence and the show that they put on looks so similar to what I see from Wage War. And I've never had more. I had a blast at Norma Jean, but I had more fun at Fit for a King, Crystal Lake, Miss May I, and August Burns Red.
Mm-hmm.
I personally more fun. Norma Jean made me want to kill people.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
So Greyhaven made me want to get stoned off my ass and headbutt a wall.
That's kind of cool too.
So that's metal as fuck, right?
Yeah.
So Wage War, I just feel like is that perfect mix of hardcore, post-hardcore, and metalcore, melodic hardcore more than anything. Not like Norma Jean hardcore, melodic hardcore.
Yeah.
That they can blend to anybody's ear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're some groundbreaking band. I just think that they do an excellent job of creating music that everybody can appreciate that's a metal fan.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked enough. Y'all go ahead.
So,
I'm
in
gonna
regards
drink.
to Wage War, I remember when I first heard them, back when I was a true meathead, and all I did was lift weights and eat chicken.
Bro, if I
and-
flex any harder, I'm going to poop myself.
Yeah. All I did was lift weights, eat chicken, and go to sleep at 7:30 p.m. And I had heard Blueprints when I managed the gym, and I was working out one night. And
I thought I sent you the river, and that's what started
no,
it.
I had randomly came across it in the gym some way.
I came across it on
somehow.
YouTube is where I found
Okay.
it. The river was the
I
music
think-
video for
I
the
think at the
river.
time when I had came across it was like the similar artist tab or whatever.
Yeah.
And specifically the song was the song Desperate off
Oh,
of
fuck.
Blueprints.
That's a jam.
And of course how heavy it is, but then the chorus had roped me in.
Cody's got pipes, dude.
And that was the night I remember it vividly. It was the night I squatted 315. I don't know why, not that it matters by any means, but it was such a refreshing sound for me at the time, and I don't know why, because there were obviously a bunch of bands that we were listening to that were similar.
Dude, at that time, like, there was the Vultures album from Dayseeker that was kind of similar to back when Dayseeker was, like, actually doing metal.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Jeremy Priest for showing us Dayseeker back then. There was a couple, like, Bless the Fall I was listening to. Micah Relocate I was
Of
listening
course,
to.
Issues.
Oh
We
my
were
God.
big into
It's
Issues.
such
then.
a shame that Tyler has to be a pedophile, but not you, Tyler. Tyler from Issues.
Did
I'm
he ever?
glad we clarified.
Was that ever like proven?
No, it wasn't. I'm being a dick. He just the allegations were enough that the rest of the guys booted him out.
Yeah, yeah.
And now they're
Well,
not doing anything.
If they booted him out, they probably seen some shit and just never said anything until it came out in the public. So fuck the rest of them too.
Yeah, but then we're getting on a tangent. But they had dropped one of the singles off of Headspace, and it might have been Coma, which we love that fucking song. But
the whole record.
he did the whole video in a fucking dress the whole time, and I was like, "Yep, he might be gay, but he's also a weirdo." I remember that.
He likes penis.
Yeah, which
But the whole
fine. He
rumor
can
was
like
that he
penis
liked
all he wants, but
Teenage boy penis.
yeah,
was the rumor.
yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, it was such a refreshing, heavy, fucking gnarly sound at the time.
Wage War you're talking about.
Yes, Wage War. I apologize. And I remember being hooked on them. Me and Kyler lost our fucking cool to that album for months
Oh my
on
God.
end.
And then that was like in 2016 because the album had been out for like a year.
And
then
we hadn't
Deadweight
even
was
heard of
coming.
them.
Yeah.
We hadn't even heard
No,
of them.
and then they started dropping singles from Deadweight coming. And I'm like,
And that's
fuck,
when
they're
we
getting ready
lost
to
our
drop-
fucking cool
They're
when
getting ready to
Deadweight
drop a
was starting
fucking
to
new
come out.
album, and yeah,
Yeah, so
Deadweight like had better production, and
Yeah,
like it was
yeah,
just more
slightly.
refined.
Yep.
And like, I mean, if dude from A Day to Remember is producing that album or helping produce that album,
Yeah, I
you know?
think I remember seeing a YouTube video about that or something where he had delved into it or helped a bit. But so I remember us being extremely fucking hyped about Deadweight, and it did not disappoint. We loved that album. And then Pressure had came out in 2019, and I remember being excited for it. I hadn't Wage War hadn't fell off the wagon for me yet.
No.
And I sometimes do that with
When you got
bands.
only 2 years in between albums, they stay pretty fresh in
Yeah,
your mind. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Well, and their sound hadn't changed to a point where I was disinterested.
Yeah.
So then Pressure had came out, and I mean, to be honest, I'm looking and I have 5 of the songs off that album downloaded. And I'm a listener where I will not download the full album unless I like every single
Same.
song. Tyler's completely different.
Tyler's different than us. He'll download the full album.
But if I downloaded those songs, I liked them. But, I mean, to be honest, Pressure disappointed me.
Right, because you were used to
I was used to, of course, Blueprints, but then Deadweight felt like it was perfect.
a perfect mix.
Yeah, it was like perfect at the time. Pressure went a little bit softer, but I think really it just maybe wasn't as good as songs to me.
Sure.
As good of songs. So then the Wage War love kind of it was gone there for a bit
Sure.
for me. And I think something about the drop A tuning on a 6-string, like they had the same exact sound. It just kind of fell to the wayside for me. And then they dropped Manic.
Was that in 21?
Oops, sorry.
Was that in 21 or 22?
It was 21. 21. So they dropped Manic, and it took me a bit to get into that album.
So they're due.
They're due.
Potentially, yeah.
They have been touring. I do know that.
But I remember when they were hyping up Manic, it felt as if, and I could be dead wrong, but it felt as if they had heard the disappointment from Pressure, and they were going back in the studio, and Manic was going to be the hardest they ever worked. They might have been getting heavier, and it took me a bit to get into Manic, but that fucking album's pretty damn sweet, and Death Roll is a fucking jam.
It's a good one to listen to in the gym.
Oh, Death Roll will make you lose your fucking cool, dude.
Tyler, I think, and you haven't got a chance to talk about this, but when I think about Wage War for you, I compare them to Of Mice and Men for you, because you kind of came in late, I think. Like, whereas, like with Of Mice and Men, you didn't come in with the self-titled or the Flood. You came in off Restoring Force. And
Yep.
Pressure, in my opinion, is very similar to Restoring Force.
Oh, yeah.
For you guys, yeah. Listening to you guys talk about it, it does remind me of the same conversation we had around Of Mice and Men.
Yeah. God, I loved.
For me,
Nostalgic, dude.
it was earlier on in me hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
And you guys were, again, flooding me with
Yeah,
all this
metalcore.
shit.
Yeah.
Tyler,
We were
Tyler,
drowning you with
yeah.
metal.
And we had just started the group chat and
Yep.
stuff, and it was...
Bro, can
man,
you
it
believe
was-
that the group chat's like 5 years old now?
Well, it's not 5 years
Is it?
old.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Because I didn't start hanging out with Preston until about
2018.
4 years ago, 4.5 years ago.
Maybe it's 4 years old.
Because it was around the time
It's been 5 years.
I'm
my
telling
ex
you.
and I split up.
Right at about 5
I think
years.
it is. I was gonna say because I
Close.
feel like.
Damn close to 5 years.
But anyways, go ahead, Tyler. I'm sorry.
I'd
buddy.
say it was about close to 5 years.
Yeah.
But anyway, Preston sends me Low.
And
Off
that
of-
fucking chorus, dude. Jesus Christ.
I got something
Which,
to
by
say
the
about
way,
Pressure and
I
Manic,
want to
but I'll get
mention
there.
whoever put this shit on iTunes fucked up because Low's on there twice.
Oh, I didn't
It
notice
is.
that. I
And
did
that-
not notice
that-
that.
Irritates the shit out of me.
Yep.
But anyway, because I listen through albums, unlike you guys.
So he hears the same
But
song
anyway,
twice. Yeah.
I remember hearing that song and I was immediately hooked.
It ain't on there twice.
Yeah,
It is on mine.
On mine, it is.
My
You-
shit's fucking old and not updated then.
Did you did you download the whole album?
No.
That's why.
Well, I pressed show complete album.
You know, that's
and I
not
see
the only
low
album
ones.
that is like that. I've got a couple on mine that have songs.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyway,
Anyways, go
iTunes
ahead.
is fucked up. Fix your shit. Um,
You're still better than Spotify, though.
yes.
Continue.
Yes. So I I got that song, and then I started listening to the other ones. And oh, dude, Me Against Myself.
Is that not the perfect song title?
I think
too,
me
bro?
and him cried to that song, bro.
Let me tell you,
Cody
I
just
get
serenades you, bro.
I get almost emotional even thinking about that song, because
is so
I
awesome.
I connect with it on such a deep level. I mean, just the lyrics. Think about it, it's me against myself. I feel like someone else. I don't want to do it alone.
Yep.
Like going through shit, and a lot of the times with anything, and that was around the time, Preston, you know about this a lot, the mindset journey that I was going through at the
absolutely.
time, and starting to take ownership of just so many things in my life. And for people out there, like, look, you can almost look at any shitty situation you've been in and bring it back to a decision, a choice that you made. And when you recognize that it was your decisions, your choices that put you in that tough spot, that whatever bullshit that you're dealing with, it's a fucking gut check. And it's something that you can really start to take ownership of your life. But at the same time, like,
It's a hard fucking pill to swallow.
it's a hard pill to swallow, and it's hard to do alone.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what that song is about to me. Just, me against myself every day. Trying to be better today than I was yesterday, and trying to set myself up best for tomorrow. And it is really hard to do alone, and having been at this somewhat alone for so long. I mean, I've had you guys, I've had other
I
close
love you.
friends. Hey, love you too, bud.
This motherfucker took a turn fast.
But
We
God,
always
that,
be getting emotional, bro.
that song, man. That song.
It's
Every
awesome,
time
man.
I'm in a tough spot and I'm feeling down, I'm feeling depressed about a certain situation, I could listen to that song, and at first it's the gut check that's like, dude, you fucking put yourself here.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere down the line was a decision or a choice that you made to put yourself in this situation, and you really just have to check yourself and move forward. And then it's kind of this uplifting, almost an uplifting vibe to it that kind of brings it back around to, like, I hear that song, I'm going through the gut check, and by the end of it, I'm like, man, I fucking got this.
Yeah.
And
They can write the shit out of
that's
it.
only one of the songs that I
Yeah.
can speak on from Wage War. And
Bro, go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it kind of goes into a topic I want to talk about later, but Wage War, once I listened through that album and I fell in love with that album, I started going back into the older stuff. I honestly have not listened to Blueprints that much, but the Deadweight album, dude,
You're in love with Stitch.
Stitch, Don't Let
Fucking
Me
loves.
Fade Away.
Oh,
The
chorus.
chorus,
Yes.
dude, oh, I heard that chorus for the first time,
Fucking
and
Catalina
Oh my
wine
fucking
mixer, baby.
God, bro.
look, shut up. You name the
Oh.
price for me to go back and hear that chorus for the first time
yeah.
again.
Yep.
and I will find a fucking way.
Yep.
Dude, I'll touch your dick. Like,
I was getting ready to say, I'll jack off a horse. Hi, horse.
yes.
Listen, there's a TikTok out there, and the caption says it's like the whole build up to the song "Hi Horse," and it says you see a horse in a field, and then it has Britton going "Hi Horse," and then it cuts out.
I'm glad I'm
But
I'm
look,
not
Don't
on
tell me
TikTok.
Fade Away's chorus.
Dude.
Oh,
And then
as soon as you said the song, I'm like, the fucking chorus, bro.
Yes.
I just want to throw shit. But look, like Stitch. When I heard Stitch for the first time, it's
It's
starting
that
to kind
build-up.
of.
Burn the
Yeah.
bridge with the stitch. Bring it up.
Oh my god! I about ran my fucking car into a guardrail. I about tasted the fucking metal.
So to me, Stitch is kind of like, I guess, no, excuse me.
Let's fucking go, bro.
Death Roll is kind of similar
Same,
to
yes.
Stitch to me.
It's that, dude.
now
and
there's a build up in Stitch.
there's
of
a build
course,
up,
but
yeah.
that's
how I feel
figured
about-
Death Roll would hit you like Stitch did, because I know that's always been your
That's
favorite.
how I felt about High Horse. Like High Horse, just
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. If it's the bounciness, the thrashiness of that song that just kind of, what have I said for, I haven't said in a long time, but metal is.
Speed.
So that's why this like High Horse got me for them because, okay, so full disclosure, you talked about Manic no. Manic was the album for you that like it took you a couple listens to get into.
And I think Pressure did that too, because it was a slight sound change. But
so
yeah.
Pressure did that for me until I realized that's probably the best songwriting they've ever done. I
Ooh,
disagree
it
with
is
you on the
amazing.
sense. I disagreed with you on the sense, in the sense of that Pressure was their least, as far as songwriting goes. I thought Pressure probably was their most emotional album when it comes to songwriting, and writing emotional songs, in my opinion, takes guts.
You know what?
It takes vulnerability.
That
Go
might
ahead.
make sense. I would have to go back and listen, but it would make sense in regards to songwriting for that album, because at that time is when I noticed my friends that I knew listen to rock music or maybe a little bit of metal music, but weren't metalheads like us,
Yeah.
know of Wage War.
Yeah. Again, it goes back to they made everything. Yeah.
So, you might have a good point there, because I remember people posting on Facebook about Wage War, and I'm like, dude, I've been listening to them for 5 years. Like,
Yeah.
this album did that for you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was Bad Omens before Bad Omens.
Pretty much.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's why I think, different topic, that's why I think Bad Omens' next album will be back to
There's a real possibility. Yep.
straight up metalcore.
Yep.
There's a pattern to be seen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, for
If so,
me,
that's one hell of a formula, because you have
is.
this prominence, you make this money and popularity, and then you can do what the fuck you want to do.
Yep.
Which
And
we've delved
people-
into that before.
and people still listen.
Yep.
But Wage War is one of those bands that, even when they change their sound, they still make fucking fantastic music.
Yeah.
And Manic was one for me that might have taken me 2 listens to be like, okay, this shit fucking rips.
Yeah, because I remember
like-
us having conversations where we're like, yeah, it's all right.
And then, like, a week later,
you
it's
sent
like,
High Horse,
all
and you're
right.
like, bro.
Bro, bro,
look.
this shit's nuts.
Look, you kind of, have your feelings towards Pressure,
Yep.
I love
but
Pressure.
in
Same.
I
the
don't.
terms
I don't.
of what we have spoken about on this show, heavy is a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
not a sound.
Yep. Yep.
When Pressure first came out, that wasn't a concept you and I really talked about.
Yep.
And so I can understand how you can go from these 2 albums that were pretty fucking heavy into Pressure and think, man, feel a certain way about it.
Mm-hmm.
But when I listened to that album, I felt like it was heavy as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because they're so good at fucking songwriting,
Hurt,
man.
the song Hurt.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep.
that chorus will like make me cry,
Yep.
bro. Like, and just the opening, does it ever go away? Oh, will I always feel this way? Like, just the feeling of, you talked about, in order, right? Here's how I would listen to Hurt, and then I would listen to Me Against Myself. Like, that's how I would listen to it in order.
Motherfucker
You
gonna wreck his fucking truck down the highway.
Yeah, you're right. So you want to feel yourself, and then you want to pick yourself up, and like that's why I think Pressure. It's almost like a concept album in a way, whereas the whole album is a story. It's not a concept album. I'm not saying that, but it has.
In a sense, it is. I mean, the album's titled Pressure, and I mean the whole album is talking about these concepts around, you know, what applies pressure to us as individuals.
Low.
Ugh.
Bro, Low might be the best chorus they've made.
No.
No.
Low's chorus, bro.
Shut
up. Tyler, go ahead.
You
know what the best. We already said.
Look, we already talked about it, man. The Fade Away, man. Oh, I done.
Don't Let Me Fade Away is.
I get you.
But that's the thing about Wage War that I think that. I mean, my God, how can they write a song like Hurt and then go do something like High Horse or The River, and it's like
Youngblood was different too.
Youngblood was Johnny Cash.
Different. Yep.
I mean, they do some different shit, bro. And I mean, you listen to so many of these bands out there that are in this genre, and it's like, wow, every song sounds the same. Every lyric sounds the same.
Well, there was a part of me listening to Wage War that I was just like, yeah, I've heard that riff 50
now you're
times.
Contradicting yourself.
What do you mean?
Because you were just talking about how they filled a gap and they were different. And
they did at the beginning. They did. And
you talking about like there was a period of time where you went back and listened to them and you're like, I've heard that before.
Or it sounds like you're talking about each one of their songs.
Yes.
Okay,
there was a time where
you did say that the drop A on a 6-string.
Yeah, and I'm very picky with music.
Did AJ Rebello play a 7?
No, 6.
Okay, so he's playing a drop A.
Yeah,
on
but
6.
he was much more funky than a lot of Wage War
That's
stuff.
Fair. I didn't know if it was
not
the
that it was
tuning
better. It was just different.
I didn't know if it was.
It wasn't exactly the tuning, but there was a part of me, and maybe y'all don't feel this way, and that's completely okay. But I'm fucking picky, so the sound got old to me there for a bit for whatever reason, and it took me probably 2 years of not listening to him to come back to him.
But Manic got you back into that.
It took a while for Manic to do it. It took probably 3 months of.
See, it only took me
after
like a
it
week.
dropped for me. It took about 3 months after Manic dropped for me to be like,
Tyler, do you like Manic? I don't think you've talked about it. Do you like Manic?
I do. I didn't like the album that much when it first came out.
So it took
because
some
it was a little different, you know. But you know, once I started listening through it a few times, and part of it was I would listen to it in the gym. You know, I listen to a lot of stuff that gets me in a certain kind of mindset, emotional mindset when I'm in the gym, because that's what helps me work through those emotions. Is I'll listen to stuff that gets me in my feels, and as I'm working out, it's almost like I'm releasing that shit. And that's why I love going to the gym and listening to the kind of music that we listen to. Because it's very therapeutic. But listening to that album a few times in the gym, like the song Manic itself was kind of like, man, this is kind of weird. And then like the third time I turned it on in the gym, and it just hit me. And I was like throwing shit.
So
shout out to fucking Wage War.
I mean,
by God, why did it take
man.
it? Why did it take us this long?
Because we listen.
I feel horrible.
We listen to so many different bands, bro, and it's just, you know, we're always bouncing around topics and bands, and
I feel like they haven't. I mean, it's been a couple years since they've released something, so it's kind of been on the back burner.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, 21, so it's been 2 years, so they're
due.
But
it was like it felt like that band slipped away from us for a bit.
They are touring. They've been touring, doing big shows.
Yeah.
So kind of like Polaris, where they've been touring like crazy. Just like, you know, Polaris had slipped to the back burner a little bit.
I think every similar. 2 to 2.5 years is good for
it is good.
Drops.
So, but shout out to Wage War. I mean, you want to talk about versatility and being able to do it all.
And they seem like stand-up dudes.
And putting out 4 albums that all are great in their own way.
And their ability to convert. Like, you guys brushed on it, but like, when I'm talking to somebody that has never really listened to metal,
Exactly.
and I'm trying to
Yep.
find what's going to get them.
Yep.
Bad Omens.
What's
Wage
going to
War.
put their
Exactly.
foot
Yes.
in the door?
Yes.
I would always go to the Pressure album. There's a
it's
few
such a-
other
yeah.
bands I would talk about, but Wage War, the
Wage
Pressure
War probably
album
does
is
it better
always-
than Bad Omens because of the lack of the techno-y shit, the synthy shit
So
on Bad
I've-
Omens' new album.
Sparked a topic in my
here we
brain.
go.
We
Let's
don't
go.
have to hit this right
No,
now. We
let's
can
fucking
hit
go,
this
dude.
toward the end.
Bro, we've only been
I'm
recording
glad
for
you
like
didn't
40
go,
minutes.
I'm glad you didn't go too deep into that because I think a good topic would be, and maybe this isn't for listeners of this show, or maybe this was a specific listener of this show before they truly got into this kind of music, but what bands would we introduce somebody with to get them into what we listen to?
Oh my God, that is such a great topic of conversation. Okay, so let's close out the Wage War thing. Shout out
Love
Wage
you,
War.
but fuck you, Wage War.
Love
We're
you
moving
guys.
on.
Fantastic. Oh God, do you want to go first? or do
Let's just dive into it.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Off
Go ahead,
the top of
Preston.
my head,
Yeah.
Breaking Benjamin, which everybody knows Breaking Benjamin, so that wouldn't be one.
Okay, so wait,
fuck.
let me ask for a little more context.
Okay,
Are they completely out of metal, or are they like dad rock?
they're into they're into
alternative.
Breaking Benjamin and shit like that.
But they
right?
don't. Let's say they don't like screaming, right? They don't like
Yeah.
unclean vocals or
Yep,
something.
they don't
like
like harsher vocals.
that. They don't. Okay.
Yep.
So they don't. Okay. I got you. Go ahead.
So a lot of these bands, I would guarantee they're going to be probably close to the same for all of us. One would be not one if I would have to rank them.
Yeah,
or
just
anything.
in general. Yeah.
Boys of Fall,
Oh my God.
Oh.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Issues.
Yeah, because you could get the
Yeah.
hip hop. Yes.
Oh no!
Oh,
Bad Omens,
yes.
which that's proven already.
It is proven. They literally
Wage
create.
War.
Yeah. Yes. Again, proven.
Oh,
Formula.
come on, keep fucking popping them off. Oh, hold on,
What we gonna talk about next?
Bro, what
I
about-
know you
Talk
guys
about
got
next?
bands on your tongue. Don't tell me.
Go
I
ahead,
want
go-
you to
okay.
say.
Yep.
Damn it, hold on.
Bro, those four are
Motionless.
hu-
Motionless.
Yes, those four are huge.
My wife
Kyler's
loves.
gonna hate this, but
my-
Beartooth.
Don't
No, no.
stop.
No, fuck you.
Keep
Fuck
going.
you. We're
Yeah.
shouting them out.
Dude,
We're
you're
just
right. You're right.
You're
My
absolutely
sister
right.
is obsessed with Beartooth.
Bill Murray.
Hold on, damn it.
Oh, let's go.
Hold on. Hold. So
I ain't gonna hold on. I would just spout
hold
them
on.
out.
Just give me like two more bands and I'll let you guys go. I'm just trying to see how witty I am about this.
Bro,
who
the
I can
first
think of
four
off
you
the top of my
rattled
head.
off were like,
Yeah.
I got another one.
Nah,
I
yeah,
got-
keep them. Because there's going to be bands that you guys mentioned.
Oh,
I'll be
yeah.
like, duh. So I said Motionless last because my
They're
sister,
heavier.
my
I mean,
wife, they love Chris and they're softer.
that's a little more. That's
it
one of the
Headache?
later bands
Headache?
you would show them.
Headache's a song they love, if I'm not mistaken.
Headache,
And
bro.
Another
Headache's
You.
heavy as fuck.
And
Another life.
Or Another Life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I told you guys I don't remember names.
Yeah, you don't want to show.
Um,
Headache is fuck.
Maybe
that
I'm
bass
wrong.
line in
I
Headache,
thought it was
yeah.
the chorus
Queen to
or
Queen?
something. Nah, that's a little too heavy to start off with. Damn it. Hold on. Of course, we could go back into Chevelle and shit like that.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
trying
said
to
they're
talk
already
about-
into shit like
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
They're into dad rock.
Chevelle ain't dad rock, homie.
no, I'm just.
I know.
But they're
I'm
on the
giving
radio.
you shit.
How about radio?
Hold on.
Radio
Of course, I prevail, but fuck you, I prevail.
because they probably already fucking heard of them.
Yeah, they did. Hold on. I have a couple.
You better
that are
hurry
like
up because
that.
my brain is swelling.
Fuck
All
you
right,
guys.
go,
Spout them off.
Go,
Spout them
go.
off.
I see stars, bro.
I see where you're coming
You're
from.
gonna get the. You're gonna
You're
get.
gonna
You're
get
gonna
a
have to send that to me
techno
because I don't know that I've heard it.
You're going to get a
Oh, wait, I do have it
techno
right here.
piece.
Slaves.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
love me some slaves.
Yep. Yep.
Slaves is another one.
Yeah.
You said Bad Omens, Issues, Wage War is another great one. Do you remember Woven War?
They're too heavy.
No, they're not. They don't
Bro,
have.
they were heavy as fuck.
Okay, so Woven War was the members of As They Lay Dying's
Yep.
band after Tim went to
Yep.
prison. They did not have unclean vocals, bro.
Oh, fuck. I know the other band.
What?
Now I'm forgetting their name, but you
Are you
love
shitting
'em.
me?
We both love them. What? Inside My Head. Who is that?
Oh, Until I Wake.
Boom.
Absolutely, that's
Yes.
a perfect one.
Yep.
Bro, Micah Relocate could be another one.
Yeah,
Tyler.
that could be. Yep.
Yes. Yes, it could.
Mhm.
I love them.
I
motherfuckers.
love Micah Relocate. That could be another one.
Yep.
Bless the Fall could be one.
But, well, a lot of girls, like, and I know this isn't directed toward women.
It
This is
needs to
just-
be because we
yeah.
need more female listeners.
Yeah.
Shout out Spirit Box.
But I know a lot of girls that I went to school with that were way into Bless the Fall. Yep.
Christian metalcore with a falsetto.
I didn't know they were Christian, but
type-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had, of course, Pierce the Veil. but
Pierce
I
the
don't know
Veil.
what
That's
fuck
enough.
they are.
Yeah, Pierce the Veil got some heavy shit, bro.
Yeah.
Give up. Oh, yeah. I can't take this. Yeah.
There's going to be bands that
What
we
about?
forget to
All
mention.
right. Hear me out on this one. It's a bridge band. Black Veil Brides.
Somewhat.
You get
I
some
I
unclean
golf
vocals.
girls.
Really listen to
You get
them.
some unclean vocals.
Yep.
You're gonna get those fans of Marilyn Manson,
Yeah.
of
Yep.
shit like that.
Mhm.
But with
Yep.
really, they're like thrash
Yeah.
metal. I mean,
Yeah.
but with some unclean vocals. But they're emo, right?
Right.
It's a scene thing.
I did say I prevail, but I said fuck them, right?
No, but they are a great example.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not straying from this topic because I want to keep going. I kind of feel like a hypocrite for loving Wage War but hating I Prevail.
Kinda. Yep.
Now there is some
Yep.
I Prevail songs that I really like. Hurricane, Gasoline.
Yep.
They do, but I just feel like they keep doing the same thing. Not that they're not doing a good job at it. They just do
I
something.
think I was really jealous, and this will run us off into something else. I was really jealous
Tyler
of them
still
blowing
yet to name some of
blowing
his.
up after that cover they did of the Taylor Swift song.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to fucking listen to them ever again.
Pop Goes Punk was some
I know.
shit.
I know.
So, but no, man, this is a fun conversation. So I've done this, right?
Tyler's fucking, his brain's swelling over.
He's scrolling. I've gotten some people into the kind of music that I listen to, and I probably went about it the wrong way. And what I mean by that is that I started with some of the heavier shit.
Yeah.
Like I
You
would go,
dumbass.
Well, listen, I would play like "Hearts Burst into Fire" by Bullet.
It's some prettier parts.
So I would play some of the softer stuff from the heavier bands, but I think the best way to do it is to play those bands in that middle ground. But Wage War, I can tell you right now, is not in that middle ground. They are straight up metalcore. They just have some really pretty songs.
It's because of Cody, bro. I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, it just
girls-
pipes.
why am I thinking? Because I associate girls with soft, and that's completely wrong.
That's sexist,
but like,
bro.
yeah, that's horrible of me. But
Bro, I
yeah,
follow
because
a girl
of
on
the
TikTok
softer,
that listens to
prettier
nothing but
chorus.
deathcore.
the softer, prettier choruses. Excuse me, bourbon's got me talking. Yeah, Wage War's a very good example.
So I'm
Tyler,
gonna say,
let it rip, bro.
I'm gonna say, look, A Day to Remember.
Why the fuck didn't
That's
I miss?
crazy.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say,
Absolute.
look, they fucking jam. And then I'm gonna say
Oh my-
Deftones.
Yes.
Yes. Oh yes.
Is that where you said I was going to hate you?
No.
Okay, because I like
No.
Deftones. Just I'm not in love with Deftones.
Look,
I like
look.
Deftones.
The Word Alive.
yeah.
The World Alive, yeah.
The Word Alive. Did you say world?
The World Alive is a band, yes.
It is, but no, the Word.
That's fucked up. The World Alive, the World Alive.
Fuck, you're opening up a whole new
What?
dimension.
I'm trying to
of things
think.
that I'm
Day to
thinking about.
Remember would
True
be-
North.
Yeah, True North, but I don't know if they do heavier shit.
Look, Seosin.
Yep,
Yeah.
Sayerson, yep.
That self-titled album.
Yep.
What about
Still to this
Secrets?
day. I was going to say
Secrets,
Secrets.
yes.
Fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, Secrets.
Secrets, absolutely.
Oh, what else?
Thousand
Oh, what
Below.
a
Thousand Below.
Fuck.
Yep.
These are what we call gateway bands.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
yes.
For
Oh,
people,
man.
For people who
You
are
guys have
into
already
rock and
named off
metal,
so many that
Yep.
Bro, we've named like 30 bands that would be like. That's what's great.
That's
about
why
maybe
they're
a little bit
popular.
of The Plot in You.
dude.
Yes. Hell yes.
Yes.
Yep.
There's an son of a bitch. Go ahead. I'll think of it in a minute. I had it. and
I have
lost
like
it.
4 bands that are right here, but I can't remember who I'm thinking of.
Dude, Until I Wake is a great one.
Yeah.
Dude, I would say Novelist because they don't scream that much.
If you played 512 AM,
and they got so
yes.
fucking pretty, such
Yep.
pretty shit.
Or
man.
oh shit.
not Head Rush.
No, oh god, I love Head. The Blue or Into the Blue or is
Deep
it-
Blue.
Deep Blue.
Monument's last album.
Nah, maybe because of Andy. Maybe.
Just because of the vocals,
Just
man.
because Andy.
He does some flowy, pretty
That would
shit.
be one of the later ones that you showed.
Yeah, you would like, all right, I need
The
you to
first
get
one
into
you
this.
show them is like slaves, right? I mean, that's kind of what you...
There's a path.
Until
Okay,
I Wake.
there is
right?
definitely
Until I
a
Wake
path.
is a
Yeah.
great one to... But they got some shit that's...
Yeah, they do. Right.
There is a path.
Bro, there's so many bands that we're not even...
We've scratched the surface of this
Yes.
topic. Tyler,
Look, Derek's listening to this episode, hearing one band pause. Listen. One band pause. He's going to have a fucking stroke trying to listen to this.
3 days.
Listen
You
to
know
this
what? A
episode.
little bit of a hot take here, and I understand this may not be the most popular band, but Breathing Theory.
Yeah.
Breathing Theory. Yep.
Okay, you said something that tipped me off. What about Breathe Carolina?
I haven't listened to them in God knows how long.
I've never heard of them.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember them
You
being
guys
popular
got
back in
shit
the
to
day.
send me.
Yep.
You guys sent me...
Falling in Reverse?
Yep.
Because
Yeah, Shaylin, Sean's wife, is a big fan of Dude.
Of
Well, not
Ronnie
even
Radke?
Dude, but Falling in Reverse. Yeah.
Yeah, Falling in Reverse would be another one because they do a little bit of rap, they do a little bit of metalcore, they do a little bit of like punk pop,
Yep.
they do a little bit of everything. That'd be another good one. There is...
Of course, you fucking... This was off the cuff, and you're rolling through your phone.
Because I can't remember band
Yeah,
names.
bro,
or
I have my
song
phone's sitting up on a
names or
tripod
anything.
right now, my guy.
I'm so terrible at it.
Hold the fuck on.
He said, I'm so terrible.
If
at
I
it."
knew I could get
He
my
said,
phone out.
if I knew I had a cheat sheet,
Oh, you got a cheat sheet. I'm the only one that doesn't have a cheat sheet. Y'all,
You know what? Hey, hold
hey,
on.
caskets.
I got caskets.
Caskets.
I got one for
their
you.
new song slaps.
This is kind of obvious, but maybe not. Fucking show them Spirit Box.
yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Dude, I
Box.
pulled up to my grandma's house to
love
pick up
Spirit
my
Box,
kids, and I was blaring Spirit Box.
Show
and
'em
here's
Secret
this
Garden
chick
one
singing,
time.
and there's
Was it
this
the Breakdown the
girl
Circle with
next door to grandma's house, and she is like giving me this odd look, and I felt like getting out of the car and just looking at her and saying Spirit Box. Look it up.
That is the coolest name for a
Show
band.
them Secret Garden and just walk away.
You know the other one we didn't mention, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, duh."
Speak
Mood
to
Ring.
me. Oh!
You show them Mood Ring, they'll fucking melt.
What about
Hold on.
He said, "Hold on."
Hold on.
This might be one of the best topics we've ever had on the Screaming
It
Idiots show.
sparked with me when he said that.
Bro. Dude, Spirit Box would be perfect.
Yes, my wife's into Spirit Box.
Bro, Sydney is into a lot of heavy bands.
She
these
fell
days.
into Dance Gavin Dance when we started.
There's
listening to
one?
them. Fell in love.
There's one,
Yes, because of Tillian, but maybe the all over the placeness of
but
their
you disagree
stuff.
with me on Icy Stars.
Yeah, but they're not like
Dayseeker.
all over the place.
Dayseeker.
Oh yeah, duh, Dayseeker. Fuck, we forgot about
There's
them.
one.
Yep. Hold on.
It's the way you should have proposed this. How do we get somebody from Chevelle to Lorna Shore?
Right?
Slaughter to prevail. How do we get people to hear?
How do I make you like this?
How do I make you like deathcore?
Oh, bro, hold on.
Oh, that's
Tyler
perfect.
mentioned a great one, Beartooth, because of their
Beartooth's
poppy,
perfect.
because of their
Yep.
poppy choruses.
Beartooth's perfect. I still think
Yep.
Wage War's perfect.
Yeah.
You
hell
start them
yeah.
off on Pressure, and then you take
Yep.
them back to
Yep.
Blueprints, then you take them
Yep.
to Manic, then you take them to Dead Weight.
Yep.
You do. Tyler, you missed it because you were draining the main vein. We said Dayseeker.
Yeah. Duh. Yeah.
Yeah, Dayseeker. That would be great.
Bro,
would it
the
not?
Sleep Talk
Look.
album fucking changed my life.
Oh,
Talk
it was
album's
so
incredible.
amazing.
Drunk Driving.
And that was another one where I came in on that
Oh, yeah,
album and
Drunk.
then had to go
or
back.
Drunk, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's another one we haven't
Drunk Driving.
mentioned, and I think it's because they do a lot of screaming. But Wolves at the Gate.
Oh, yes.
Look,
Yes.
look. I'll be blaring
Open
some...
the gates for 'em,
wait,
baby.
wait, shut up. I'll be blaring some Wolves at the Gate, rolling up to an appointment, knowing damn well it's some fucking 80, 90-year-old couple, and they're probably going to be like, he's listening to the devil's music. And I'm like...
They're talking
This
about
And
is
I'm just
gospel
waiting
music.
for them to say something because they are the most obvious
gospel
Christian
Yes.
metalcore
Yep.
band,
Yep.
and they're basically just preaching the fucking Bible. When,
They
when
are.
They
It's all the
are,
gospel.
yeah.
My
But, like,
favorite
they
song by them is Lowborn, and it's
Lowborn
about
is
the birth of
fucking
Christ.
Sweet. Yep.
It's about the birth of Christ.
It
Yep.
is. Look, Wolves at the Gate is one of the most passionate fucking bands I've
They-
ever listened to.
Shout out fucking Wolves at the Gate from Cedarville, Ohio. OH!
I
Go
baby.
Bucks.
Let's go.
So, dude, I will fucking put Ohio metalcore up against fucking anybody in the world.
Dude, so
Fight me.
many bands come out of
hold
Ohio.
on, up against Australia metalcore.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Hey, we're talking about one state
We're talking
versus
about-
the rest of the
We're
states.
talking
He
about
said
the US,
anybody
bro.
in the world,
Okay,
buddy.
He didn't
you're
say
right.
in the-
Anybody? I did.
Yeah.
Anybody in the United States.
Okay, well, look. If we're talking about
No, don't
Australia,
try to-
there's a few states over
Them
there, so we're
motherfuckers
talking
are
on a
crazy
state
over
level,
there.
not on a nation
They're
level.
fucking nuts,
They got to make
dude.
them suffer and Polaris, bro.
Yeah.
But are they in the same
Who are
state?
taking over the
No.
fucking planet.
So, dude, Wolves is
Look, their album, I gotta pull it up. It's
Eulogies?
got the
Eulogies?
slaves on it.
does it have
It's-
the green? It's got like the green circle, lime green circle.
Yeah, where is it? Wolves at the
Has
Gate.
Has Wolves ever put out a bad
Captors.
song?
Captors.
Captors.
This album is fan-fucking-tastic, and it is like their second album, and it's just been banger after banger after banger after banger of an
Dude,
album.
Lowborn.
I got
Since.
one that may be tough, and I want to see if you guys agree.
I fucking love Wolves. at
But
the
if
Gates.
we
go ahead,
Say if we showed that group of people,
This album too, bro.
Types and Shadows.
yes, if we showed that group of people Dark Divine,
Ooh,
Nowhere Left to
I bet-
Sink made them blow up, and that's
right
softer.
here, bro.
Dude, I think
What? Let
Malls.
me see that.
If you showed
Malls,
them
if
Dark
you showed
Divine,
them Dark Divine,
yep, I
bro,
do.
you could show them.
Return off of this
Return.
album.
Yes, Return is
Oh,
bad
Lord.
as fuck.
Lord. Oh,
All right,
Lord
so
Jesus.
Episode 2, season 3 is going to be Wolves at the Gates. So
Jesus.
listen, I told my wife or my fiance. I keep saying she's my wife. It's we haven't said I do yet, but that's my fucking wife. That's my baby mama. Shout out Cheyenne. I love you, baby girl. So I showed Cheyenne Wolves, and I said, babe, if this was the music that they played at your church, I'd be there every Sunday.
Yep.
But unfortunately for you, they don't. So,
So my Sunday mornings are free.
my Sunday morning,
Holding absence.
Oh man, that's a good one too.
getting people into this music.
They scream. They got some parts
They-
where he
they-
gets
no,
up.
I kinda heavy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is like, well, we talked about Motionless. I feel you said somebody
There's
before
some
holding
fringe
absence.
bands that we've
You
mentioned.
said or you said somebody before holding absence. Say it again. We were still talking about Wolves.
Let me go back. Oh shit. Well, I mentioned Malls, Dark Divine.
Yes. So you could even go and show them something. You could go and show them. Show me No Eternity in Gold.
Hold on.
Not Burning Water, Drown in Flames. Killing What's Underneath.
Yeah, you
You could show them Killing
Yep.
What's Underneath.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So Moths might be one. I hope the listeners.
Dude, Of Mice and Men, Restoring Force.
I
Yes.
hope we gave a
Yeah.
whole lot
Boom.
of people.
There you go.
Boom.
What is it?
Restoring Force.
Yeah. Yep.
Another You is probably the
Oh, that song is
the
fucking
number
amazing.
one influence for me to get into metalcore
Yep.
because I heard that song and that's what got me into more of
Mm-hmm.
like of Mice and Men. And then when I got into more of Mice and Men, I started getting into
The
more
Flood. And,
you know,
yeah.
more, other metalcore shit. Then I ran into you guys and got more metalcore. Previous to that, the closest thing to metalcore I really listened to was like Under Oath.
That's metalcore. It's just old
yeah,
metalcore.
it's just
Yeah.
old metalcore. So I had listened to metalcore before. I just didn't listen to it on a regular
All right,
basis.
you didn't
I
realize
listened to
it.
heavy
I'm gonna
shit. I
tickle-
just didn't listen to it
I'm
on a
going to
regular
tickle Tyler's
basis.
fancy. When you think about, we talked about some of the bands that you would show them first, right? Like Slaves,
Yeah.
like Until I Wake.
Yep.
Artist in the Ambulance.
Yep.
I quit. I'm
Yep.
sorry. I didn't mean to throw
Yep.
that at you. That
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you show them of art, because it has screams. I
Yep.
mean, that album is unclean
Yep.
vocals and heavy guitar tones.
what
and
was
super
interesting
riffy.
about that album is prior to that they were very punk
Yes.
Yeah.
punk,
Yes.
almost kind of hardcore,
Yeah.
floating in that realm because he screamed. It was a
But
very
Artist
punky
in the Ambulance
sound.
is more hardcore, like
It was
melodic
very
hardcore.
riffy and honestly, their main guitarist, he is super influenced by Metallica, so he's very riffy in the way
Yeah.
that he plays.
Yep.
And then Artists in the
We
Ambulance
love riffs.
came on, and they went more for that more like metalish sound.
Melodic hardcore is what I think of
Yeah.
it as. It's that gateway from hardcore to metalcore.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah,
You know what?
That's an album that I would show somebody like, bro, you want to get into metalcore? There
And
you go.
you guys might look at me crazy for a second and then be like, oh yeah, you're right.
You bit. Well, now wait a minute.
Kill Switch. Because of
Yeah,
their
you're going to help
choruses.
me out here.
Into Heartache. My Curse. People fall in fucking love with those choruses.
Okay,
And
so if somebody
they-
is a fan of Godsmack,
Linkin Park.
Breaking Benjamin, Linkin Park, Chevelle, Rise Against,
Yep.
and they hear the riff to My Curse, they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's
And then
cool.
they hear that fucking chorus.
But then they hear the screaming, they're like, man, he's... Then they're like, oh, it's kind of bouncy. And then they hear the
Yeah.
chorus, and they're like, okay.
See
I
where
did
I'm
exactly
going?
what you said. I
See
was
where
like,
I'm
wait a
going?
minute.
Yep.
Okay, but I would argue with you that if you showed them new Kill Switch, it would be even more so because Jesse's vocals
Ooh,
are
I don't
prettier.
know.
Jesse's vocals are prettier.
Yeah, but something about the this may not be a word. I'm on bourbon. Iconicness
Iconicness.
of like the End of Heartache and My Curse. I feel like that would do it.
That's not terrible. What about?
Savage Hands?
Oh,
We
That's
haven't
a good
listened to
one.
them in a while.
I love Savage. Hand. That's a good one because they're kind of in. They dwell in that in between.
Yep.
Man, when they dropped that album, that one, it's a black album cover. I can't think of what the album's called or the EP's called. I don't know if it's an EP or an album.
I have The Truth in Your Eyes, which is that white with it looks like a mirror and rose petals or something.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, there's a different one. Savage Hands would be a good one. See, you guys have cheat sheets. I'm coming up with this shit off
Well,
the fucking
once
cuff.
he started delving into his phone.
I have to because I don't remember
So
shit.
I do think that like Tears Don't Fall, Bullet. Like you could.
Yeah. Yep.
You could-
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about?
Because when I was first meeting like Scotty and them, that stuff
Yeah.
kind of got me into more of
Yep.
the heavier kind of music.
What about? I'm gonna venture, and I sent some of this in the group chat earlier last week. A couple songs off of From Death to Destiny, Asking Alexandria, Moving
Yeah.
On,
Yep.
that are more ballady,
Yep.
but like still have that metalcore vibe to it. So you could show them new Asking Alexandria, but then you
We
could go
came
back,
as Romans. Like older, we came as Romans.
like
Yep.
what?
Because of the shit Kyle sings. Hold on, let me give examples.
I should have known.
Off of To Plant a Seed, or no, off of Understanding What We've Grown to Be.
What song am I thinking of?
Um,
I should have known.
of course,
the
I don't fucking
times
remember.
were- The fuck is that song
A
called?
War Inside off of Understanding What
And then
We've
go
Grown
show
to
them
Be.
daggers.
Yeah, whole shit.
Draw.
What
I
was
think
the-
we've named like 50 bands
Yeah,
that are, or at least maybe not in their essence, are gateway bands, but have songs or albums
right.
that are gateway pieces of music.
Gateway drugs?
Yes. Marijuana, Gualmar, Papayón. I'm off the bourbon.
Get you another bourbon.
Bro, I've had 2 already, god damn it. That person said Jesus. No, I think it's an interesting topic of conversation because I feel like every girl that I've ever dated, I've always like done
Yes!
my best to get them into metalcore specifically.
Well, it's like, look, if we're driving somewhere, I'm sorry, I'm not listening to Taylor Swift. I'm not listening to your country bullshit,
Yep.
your radio country bullshit.
Yep. I some
I-
Tyler Childers, you
look,
might be vibing though.
Well, it depends because I don't love all of his stuff.
Go ahead.
But like, you're trying to find common ground with people when you first meet them, or even when I'm in the car with my dad, we had my dad on an episode, and when he and I get in a car and ride around together, I'm trying to find things that like we can find common ground on to listen to on a drive up to Columbus, because we're going to go hit Guitar Center or whatever just to fuck off for the day. And it's like I'm trying to figure out what we can listen to that's just something we can both enjoy, but it's my Bluetooth, you know, I'm connected, so fuck you, we're going off of my shit. And you know, when it comes to some of the, you know, me, you know, hanging out with girls or whatever it is, I'm trying to find shit that they can enjoy, that might get them more into what I'm listening to. Shit, my sister hit me up one day and was like, "Hey, I'm trying to find some bands to listen to that are more along the lines of like metal, but not like straight screaming, because they don't want to listen
straight screamo."
Yeah, they don't want to listen to deathcore and stuff like that. And like my sister, I shared Wage War to her, and she lost her fucking mind. She was like, I can't believe I had never heard this before. And I'm like, I can't fucking believe you hadn't either. Meanwhile, I had only known him for like a few months.
So Cheyenne, I'm always like, she has no choice. She listens to fucking my shit. She doesn't have a choice, because I drive everywhere we go together. And, you know, she always listens to pop or rap or radio country or, you know, whatever. And when the New Currents album dropped, that was just all I listened to, right? And So Alone came on for the first time, and she goes, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Currents." So the song's called So Alone. She goes, "I love this." And I'm like, yeah.
You didn't even
like that Jack Nicholson meme where he's going,
yeah.
Yes. Excellent. This old fucking 1960s movie villain. Like, yeah. So, like, there's just certain songs that, like, will catch somebody's ear, and they're like, oh. But, you know, it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, she likes So Alone. She'll love Over and Over.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I don't like it as much as So Alone. I'm like, the chorus is prettier and less metalcore-y.
Right.
She goes, nope, I like So Alone better. I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
I was
play Remember Me to her.
yeah, she loves Remember Me too.
Yep.
So she just likes the Currents album. She just thinks it's a great album. And she loves Boys of Fall. And oh God, we've already said their name. I'm missing it. Bad Omens. Of course, she loves Bad Omens. Every time she hears one, she goes, "Oh, that's Bad Omens."
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, it sure is.
Yep.
There's just certain bands that just really drive that I don't want to use the word generic, but like it just meets everybody's ear, and it can catch so many different styles of music and get everybody involved and interested in it.
Yeah, I think a good example, it feels to me, and I could be reading it wrong, but it feels like Bad Omens did what I Prevail did however many years ago.
Except with original music, not with covers.
Well,
Or
I mean,
cover.
of course, I Prevail mainly blew, if I'm not mistaken, blew up because of that cover that they did. But they had some good catchy songs off their first album that people absolutely loved.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad we delved into that.
That
topic.
was great.
That was fun.
That was fucking fantastic.
Off the cuff.
Yes. That's why I like this shit. It's just off the cuff. I mean, we just did like 45 minutes of content off the cuff. That's fantastic. And everybody listening's going, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Or here's another band that, and if you think
Pause.
of
let us know if there's other bands.
If you think of another band that's like, oh, this would be a good gateway band, fucking shoot it over to us on social media.
I
Let
love
us know.
gateway drugs.
Because,
I mean, bands.
Oh. No, I like gateway bands too. So if y'all think of something, send it over our way so we can fucking put that in our fucking memory bank, because we're always recruiting. We're always out there recruiting people to the Metal Brotherhood.
Have we talked new Make Them Suffer?
No.
Did
we?
Little
On the
bonus content.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got something to say?
You got something to say, dog?
I don't like that sigh.
No. not in a bad way by
Okay.
any means.
We talked about their move to sharp tone, basically, is what we really touched on.
I'm kind of jealous of Make Them Suffer right now because I'm pretty sure they're taking Polaris's place. Not for me,
Yeah.
but in the scene.
Yeah.
In the scene,
kinda.
I'm pretty. And the reason I realize this, there's a YouTube channel that I watch religiously, and it's a reaction channel, and it's called The Breakdown with Nath and Johnny, and they're two Australian metalheads, and they're cool as fuck. Cool as fuck. Probably my favorite reaction show that I watch on YouTube. And they had both said in this video, I think it was within like a minute of the reaction video, a minute of the
To
song.
the Ghost of Me.
Of Ghost of Me.
Yeah.
And they had said, they're like, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it. They're the best band in the world right now. And it may not be best band in the world or best metalcore band out right now. And I knew beforehand that Polaris was their favorite. Like, they're like me and you, where Polaris is that up here, nobody
If
touches
it ain't
them.
Polaris, it's dog shit.
And they had said something along the lines of, shout out Nath and Johnny.
Not that they're listening, but shout out.
Yeah, they might at some point, maybe one day.
Someday,
They're the best band on the planet,
Someday.
and
Someday.
dude, them boys are leveling up.
So
With the end of that new "Make Them Suffer" song, with that, I believe it's a new chick in the band.
it is a new chick, I think.
Holy shit!
All right, so I'm gonna tell you right now, I listen to a whole lot more Make Them Suffer than I do Polaris. Right now.
More relevant right now, though. Yeah. Mhm.
Wait, it goes back to the relevancy conversation we've had, but they are so different,
They are.
and they're so fucking aggressive. I love aggression, and now I think Make Them Suffer is more deathcore than they are metalcore.
Yeah, they're definitely
they're
more toward
way
that
more
side,
deathcore than they are metalcore.
Yeah.
And I love deathcore. Over the past probably 6 to 9 months, I have really become a big time deathcore fan. And because I love Lorna Shore, I love Slaughter to Prevail, I love Dying Wish. I mean, it's just been really getting into that shit. And I Make Them Suffer just does something for me that there's nobody else out there doing right now. And y'all know that Currents is my number one right now. I love Currents, but Make Them Suffer just does something so different. And that's the first band that's ever made me like synth,
Okay.
keyboard,
Okay. Yep.
EDM, whatever you want to call it.
I think the chick in the video plays a guitar.
she does play a guitar.
Yeah.
So that's the first time that I'm ever like, and she screams too, bro. Like real
And
good too.
He sung for the first time.
Kinda, yeah,
I mean, it was a different kind of
yeah.
singing.
It was scream
but,
singing, yeah.
Sharp Tone's getting them boys right, boys and girl right.
So I have to agree. I think that they are kind of taking over. Them and Currents right now are the biggest names in the game right now. I mean, they are fucking dominating.
Yep.
Everything you see on
Yep.
social media,
Yep.
the most talk that you see about bands right now is about MTS and, oh, sorry, you hate acronyms. I was supposed to send you an acronym sheet, my bad, about Make Them Suffer and Currents.
Yep.
Tyler, go ahead, buddy.
I have really nothing else to add to the topic. I mean,
You haven't talked about him much. How do you feel?
You
about
missed the
him?
bonus content, Colin.
Look,
I
I
apologize.
I do really enjoy Make Them Suffer. I hate to admit it, but maybe you are right that they are kind of taking Polaris' spot for right now because
Please, Polaris,
both
save
of
me.
them are these bands
Save
that
me.
are really heavy metalcore, very aggressive, but Polaris is kind of on the back burner because they aren't very relevant at the moment. There's nothing new out there. I would probably give my left nut for a new Polaris album.
Oh my
Yep.
God, wouldn't we all?
Yep.
But
Jesus Christ. And it's coming. We know it's coming. It's just
we hope it's coming.
yeah, we hope
No, we know that it is.
they're in the studio right
Are
now.
they right now?
Yeah, they're in the studio.
Oh, thank Jesus.
Yeah, right.
But,
Which means we'll get an album in 2024.
Yep.
and that's fine.
That's fine because
We know it's coming.
Just
be
make
good.
it worth the wait.
You know, I can hold out for another year and
but thank God, Make Them Suffer. Bands like Make Them Suffer fill in the void.
Mm-hmm.
Moths, Currents.
Yeah, I don't
But
want
it's
all
almost
my favorite
it's almost
bands.
unfair to bands like Make Them Suffer because, maybe if right now Polaris had a new album out, would Make Them Suffer be getting the attention they're getting right now? Or is it that Make Them Suffer
Well,
is
that's
just
funny you say.
filling
I
in
was
a
about to
void?
say.
So I think that I'm sorry, Preston. Go ahead.
No, it's really quick. I was about to say I'm glad that all my favorite bands don't release their album in the same year.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I think
That
that
would be a
make
tough year, man.
Yeah.
I think that I struggled with Currents coming out like right after I was really diving into the
Invent.
Anime
Yeah.
album.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
yeah, so I struggle with that because those are two absolutely bonkers albums.
Yeah, those albums are great.
They're incredible. So,
I admit I talked a lot of shit about Invent Animate, and then I listened to the
and then
album.
they went with
That new album
UNFD.
is good, bro.
Then they got with UNFD.
Yes,
so,
bro. That new album is
So
legit.
Make Them Suffer, I think. So you talked about, are they just filling a void or are they great? They're great. And when I say they're great is because they are totally different than Polaris.
Oh yeah.
They are. Yeah.
They fill a void in the sense of Polaris doesn't give me this, but Make Them Suffer does. Make Them Suffer doesn't give me this, but Polaris
Yep.
does.
Yep.
Currents gives me
They
something
almost
that neither
complement
one of
each
them
other.
do.
Yes.
They
Yep.
absolutely complement each other. Bleed From Within gives me something that there's
None of them
moths
do.
that-
Exactly.
So when I
Yep.
think of my my Mount Rushmore of metalcore / deathcore bands right now, it's Currents, it's Make Them Suffer, it's Bleed From Within, it's Moths, it's Polaris. Those are
Sprinkle in Monuments.
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
They,
I
they're not
love
up there.
Monuments. Love Monuments. They are not on that level.
Okay.
Neither's Holofront, and I love Holofront.
Yeah, we both love it. Well, you as well.
So, but because all of those bands that I just named, they all and I love Era too. I still can't
Yep.
put them on that Mount Rushmore. All those bands I named complement each other so much they give me something that the other does not, and I'm getting new music from them at different times. Like we got that Bleed From Within, or we got the Death of Me, right? Then we got that Bleed From Within
Era.
album.
Era, then Bleed From Within.
And I thought
Pretty
the Era
sure.
album was after the Bleed From Within album, or at this right around.
Anyways,
the
I
same time.
think the point you're making, that maybe not the point you're making, but what you
if
may
Era
not
had
be
a better,
realizing.
if Era
'cause-
had a better unclean vocalist,
well, you had mentioned like Era's not on your Mount Rushmore, but when that album
Jesse
dropped,
Cash
they
is.
were.
oh, for
When that
sure.
album dropped, they
relevancy thing.
were. Relevancy.
You need-
It's all about relevancy.
It is all about relevancy, and again, I hate to bash Era in any way, and Jake Perkins is listening to this right now, going, bro, really? Because he loves JT from
What up,
from Era.
Jake? Yeah, he
Um,
does.
If they had a better screamer,
Yep. And he's made a shit ton of progress by all means.
oh, he's gotten way better.
Yeah.
He ain't Jamie.
No,
He ain't dude from Make Them Suffer.
he's not.
He's not Brian from Currents.
Yep.
Like, it's just,
Yep.
he's just not. And that's
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
It's not that he's not good. Dude's got 2 screams.
Mhm.
That's it. He's got 2 pitches.
Yep.
And Jesse is,
He's that band.
bro, he
He
is,
drives that band, bro.
he is insane. I'd almost venture to say that I like his riffs better than Polaris.
I don't, but I see where you're coming from.
Oh, I said almost. I think
Yep.
they're right here for
Yep.
me. But Make Them Suffer's riffy as fuck. And it's a one guitar
Mm-hmm. And it's
outfit.
different. It is a different style.
But that dude
riff.
riffs the whole
Yep,
time.
yep.
He rips the whole. Go listen to Contraband.
Yep.
If you're not a Make Them Suffer fan, I would say go listen to Hollowed Heart first.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler's eyebrows just raised because he loves Hollowed Heart. Go listen to Hollowed Heart and then go listen to Contraband and just like listen to like an isolated guitar track or a playthrough of those 2 songs
Mm-hmm.
and you'll be like, am I just listening to like Misha or like Ollie Steele? Like,
Yep.
because it sounds like he's just this solo artist that just happens to play
Yep.
tracks for a band. No, he just riffs. Like, so there's those Mount Rushmore bands right now that just absolutely do it for me. So Tyler, to answer your question, no, they're filling a void in the sense of they give me something that Polaris doesn't, and it's not like when Polaris drops something new, I'm not going to be a Make Them Suffer fan anymore.
Right.
That's fair.
Make sense?
I guess the point I was trying to make is not so much, are they bad or anything, but it's like, I feel like if Polaris had recently dropped an album, they would overshadow what Make Them Suffer
They
has
would.
been doing and
For
would
us, at
take
least.
away how much they have succeeded just in the last year or so.
They've capitalized on, I think, a dead period in Australian metalcore.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
It's like, now's our time to show everybody how great we are.
Exactly.
And that's probably why Sharp Tone was like, hey, you, come here.
You with the face.
Yeah.
We've been watching you for a while.
You, come here. You
Mare.
guys are fucking gnarly. Rise Records sucks. Get your ass over here.
Yep.
And you mean to tell me that those dudes don't talk to Jamie or, whoever
They
from
fucking tour
Polaris?
together.
Guarantee you they do. They talk all the time. And Polaris probably went to Sharp Tone and was like, yo,
Yep.
these dudes fucking rip.
Yep.
You've got to bring these guys away from Rise. Get them on an independent label. Let them be creative. Let them do their thing. They have toured together. And that's a perfect pairing to tour together, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
That'd be a dope ass show.
Put Bleed on that with them.
Different.
To switch it up a bit.
You could put Currents on that ticket, too.
Yeah. Currents and Moths and somebody else are on.
Currents, Moths, and...
Is
oh,
it
my
Invent?
God. It is
No.
Invent. Yes, it is. It is Invent.
Okay.
You talk about a show. Shit. That'd be fucking nuts.
As long as that singer from Invent is doing better. We talked about that
Yeah, we have
before.
talked about that. Well, that was a great conversation. I do want to dive into, because it's been a minute, and Tyler said he had something. Are we good on that? Is there anything
I
else you
think we're
guys want
good.
to add on that?
I think we're good.
We've really been getting tonight. So
We got
Starting
Andrew.
off season 3, gooder than
pretty
hell.
fucking strong.
Good
You
man.
got a hell of a holler on you,
Hell of a
brother.
holler on you, boy. So we haven't done it in a while, so we're going to get into heavy metal hot takes. And I should just say heavy metal hot take, because I don't have one. I don't think Preston has one, but Tyler said he's got a pretty good one for us. And you alluded to it earlier, but I already forget what it was. So I'm going to
Yeah,
let you
so
point me.
it's almost a heavy metal hot take. It's almost, what have you been listening to lately? So kind of combining the two topics. It may take me a second to really arrive at the point, but we've talked about on this show, we had the one heavy metal hot take, which was, metal fans are all devil worshippers, uneducated, fucking stupid ass people and shit like that.
I remember when I bought my first Pentagram t-shirt.
Remember when I fell off my dinosaur?
But we've also had conversations like with Derek where it's like, metal has been the soundtrack of our life.
Mm-hmm.
And, it kind of made me think of a point of discussion where people in general are very judgmental towards anything that's not what they're doing or what they believe. And, people will look at the type of music we listen to and look at us and feel some sort of way about us and make assumptions about us. And honestly, we kind of do the same thing towards people that might be listening to, mainstream music, pop, mainstream country, hip hop, rap, whatever it is. But, at the end of the day, we're all going through some shit. Everybody, every day is dealing with their own issues. And it is said a lot not to be so judgmental and be more kind to others just because you don't know what other people are going through. And, I've also mentioned on this show where it's almost hard for me to show some people outside of my close friend group what I'm listening to, because you can really tell a lot about a person and what they might be dealing with based on the type of music they listen to. And I'm almost self-conscious about sharing some of the music I listen to because it really does portray some of the deeper shit that I deal with. And I think just in general in music, people are just way too fucking judgmental. There's no reason for it. I think we ourselves have kind of, we talk shit about radio core. We talk shit about, different styles of music that, is we think is lesser than what we listen to. But we've also discussed, had conversation around why people listen to more mainstream stuff. And it's because the general populace doesn't really listen deep into music, but music in general for the human race for hundreds of years has been an escape for us, a way for us to deal with the shit that we're dealing with in our lives. And I would say that, you know, maybe it's just a society issue or a cultural issue, but people are very close-minded to these things. I know I tend to be, I'm sure you guys tend to be, and I know I'm self-conscious about sharing these things that I listen to because it is kind of a pretty easy telltale. Like I was talking about me against myself and stuff like that I listen to that really almost brings me down to my fucking knees listening to some of this music because of what it does to me. And you know, one, I don't want to get too personal. I don't want to get too kind of in depth, but like I guess the hot take portion of it is, what is your take on, you know, the judgmental attitude of people as listeners within the music industry, whatever it is? What's your take on that? And then what have you been listening to lately that is kind of speaking towards the quote unquote soundtrack of your life right now?
Mm-hmm. So I don't want to frame this as it's a problem and it's got to be negated, because I'm guilty of it when it comes to being judgmental about what people listen to on a daily basis. I'm into rap, I'm into hip hop, and there's a lot of newer shit that I don't vibe with whatsoever, but some people do. And who am I, regardless of what those rappers or whoever, and that's just one genre. We could talk about radio, country, or whatever else if we wanted to. Who am I to say you shouldn't, or to act as if you shouldn't be listening to that?
Right, because it's even like some of this mumble rap shit that we talk about or talk shit about, maybe not on the show, but kind of in our personal conversations. But it's like people will listen to that kind of music and talk about how it affects their lives. And it's in terms of, look, I deal with shit all day, every day, and I want to escape from that and just kind of live in a party or whatever it is
Mm-hmm.
for the duration of this song.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think there's a lot of shit that comes back at us. Like, why do you listen to such angry music? Why do you listen to shit, you know, risk cutting music and shit like that? Because, hey, man, I'm an emo fan. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, I mean, your take on that, and then, like, what are you listening to lately that's really kind of setting the tone, you know, what's creating that soundtrack of your life here recently?
I could delve into so much stuff, but it would take so long. But like I said, the main gist of it is, who am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't be listened to? Like, you're more than welcome to like whatever the fuck you want to like. And you're right into a piece where we shouldn't be judging people based off what they listen to, even if it's not something that resonates with us.
Even if it is Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah, I mean, good on you. If you like it, you like it. Even though we just sat here and bashed it for 30 minutes. Like, and I see where you're coming from, and I guess what I've been listening to lately, and I don't know that it ties in with the soundtrack of my life or anything like that, but like one album, and it took me quite a bit to get into, and I think I mentioned it on the last episode, was I do like the new Devil Wears Prada album. Something about it is refreshing to me, and there's some damn good fucking songs on that album. Salt, Cancer, those are the softer ones. Noise, Reaching, that's off the deluxe version if I'm not mistaken. And then lately I've been delving back into Chevelle.
Any
Tyler.
particular reason around those choices, or?
It's not due to experiences or anything like that, but it's just something at this time frame in my day to day that it's got me out of this mundane feel. We've talked about it, and I think I mentioned it on the last show as well, just this mundane feel of metalcore, where it's been just a refreshing piece for me to not be pissed off at music right now. But just something that's refreshing for me right now that'll allow me to get back into more metalcore, which is what I prefer.
I think, maybe how that may translate into life is, because you and I work together, bro, jobs get mundane.
Yeah.
The day-to-day with having a kid, the home life, the work life, all this stuff going on is like the same, rinse and repeat day in, day out. And sometimes it's nice to have something refreshing, something different about the day to just keep you going.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that
I heard it all. That's why I left the door open.
Okay. Kyler, I know you love these kind of conversations.
Yeah,
Don't cry.
No, not at all. I'm not emotional at all. I'm more embarrassed. And the reason is, how many times have I said this? A man has to know his limitations, and a man has to admit when he's wrong.
Yep.
And I am that metal elitist. I am a gatekeeper. I am judgmental.
Let it out.
About
Boomercore.
I'm judgmental about people's music choices, unfairly so, and doesn't make it right at all.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get in arguments with people on social media when they're like, "Oh well, I Prevail is metalcore," and I'm like, "No, the fuck they're not. They're post-hardcore and they suck." And I'm like, "Do they really? Probably not."
Yeah.
No, I've listened to them. They don't. They just don't tickle my fancy.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they don't do it for them. You know, I know that it's wrong of me to be that metal elitist and that gatekeeper and that you're not allowed in the fucking club if you don't listen to Slaughter to Prevail.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
But I have those tendencies. Right, wrong, or indifferent. And no one hates each other more than metalheads.
It's weird. It is.
We
really
all fucking hate
weird.
each other.
It's weird, dude.
The three of us are very similar in a lot of ways. But, the people that listen to the Sleep Tokens, the I Prevails, the Ice Nine Kills, the Amity, Bring Me the Horizon, all that shit, they don't like people like us that listen to the Polaris and the Currents and the Make Them Suffers and the shit like that. It's just, and it doesn't make it right, but it's just, God, I feel like it's just the way we've been bred when it comes to music, and I'm horrible about it, and I try not to be, and I always try to keep an open mind about shit, but I have the tendency to be that metal elitist that's like, nah, dude, that ain't metal, you ain't metal, fuck that shit, and that's wrong of me to be that way.
I'm curious to know if other music listeners of other genres are like that.
Country. There's this big divide between the mainstream country and the underground country.
Yeah.
There's people that are like, "Oh, I like the old style country," and I'm like,
just like you with hip hop, Preston. I can speak to that from the country standpoint. Now I don't get involved in that because I'm not as passionate about country as I am about metal. I listen to country because I just enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah.
I listen to metal because I'm in love with it, literally.
Yeah.
I'm not in love with country music. I'm in love with metal music. I like country, but I watch people argue back and forth about, fucking Jason Aldean ain't fucking Sturgill Simpson. And it's like, so I get it. What from an outsider perspective, I'm like, well, they do it too. And I wonder if, now rap and hip hop, I have no fucking point of reference. All that shit can go straight to fucking hell.
I mean, I would say I'm guilty of that in regards to rap and hip hop because I'll listen to J. Cole
sucks to me
all day long.
It's
and
just
then
people
this
talking
new shit
fast.
that's out, I cannot fucking stand. Some people
It's-
like it, some people
it's
love it.
fucking
And I
John
can't
Morant
fucking
pulling out a
stand it.
gun on Instagram Live. That ain't
Right.
me, bro.
Right.
Like you want to prove how fucking cool you are, how hard you are. Suck my dick.
Yeah.
So
It's
like
crazy.
that shit to me is so out. But like it's like pop music. I try to understand people that listen to different genres of music, and I'm like, I don't get why you like this. But you said it's like, well, people listen to what we listen to, like, oh, you just want to kill yourself or kill other people, or you're so violent and aggressive, and it's like, why don't you Google the lyrics and tell me that again?
Yeah.
Because it's not like it's not, but it's just people don't understand what someone else enjoys, and but you don't see metalheads going after people that listen to pop or hip hop or R&B or country.
They're going after
we
their
go
own
after each
kind.
other.
After
We
their own
cannibalize
kind.
the fuck out of each other.
Yep.
And I'm just as guilty of it as anybody else. Y'all go see my TikTok. Look at my comment section. I'm going after people all the goddamn time. Well, people, they come after me, and then I go back at them. Or I post a video making fun of I Prevail or something, and then people come at me in the comments, and I go back at them. But I'm guilty about cannibalizing other metal fans too. And it's not right, but it's just what I do, and it's just what a lot of people do. And I'm not as bad as some other people that I see where they're straight up like, you are a fucking idiot. I'll never call somebody a fucking idiot for liking something. I might poke fun at you, but
I've also said on the show multiple times, like, everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
it is all subjective. It's all we and I've said this so many times to people. Music is we all interpret and appreciate music differently, and that's what makes it great.
Yep.
In the sense of metal, it is all different. We all appreciate it and interpret it and hear it differently, and that's what makes it so great. But I have to be better about not cannibalizing the rest of our fan base when it comes to the bands or the style of metal that they enjoy, because it's all different and they all have their traits that certain people like more than others. And just because I like the more aggressive shit or the more melodic shit, whatever it might be, doesn't mean that something that's the opposite of that, but is still in the metal umbrella, isn't good. It just doesn't speak to me personally as much. So you asked, your other piece was, how's that tie into the soundtrack of your life at the moment and what you're listening to? Oh, shit's been tough lately, bro. Sick kid at home, really sick kid at home. Just going through some shit with that and a lot of stress. So it's been the aggressive shit. It's been make them suffer. It's been bleed from within. I have dove back into, it's kind of what sparked this conversation today. I've dove back into old wage war. So a lot of the when I'm upset and I'm going through shit, I don't listen to sad stuff as much as I used to. I listen to the aggressive shit.
Why is that?
Because maybe it's backpedaling a little bit, and it's not growth, it's regressing. I don't like to let myself feel pain as much anymore, because when I listen to the aggressive shit, it just lets me get it out. It gets it out quicker. I don't let it fester when I listen to, bro. I listened to Doom Switch today, Make Them Suffer, and I'm just like, I was coming back from the doctor's office after them telling me my son's got another ear infection and he's got asthma, and I'm like, I fucking hate my life, bro. I want to suck on a pistol. Doom Switch. And it's gone like that. Like, I just, the aggression, deathcore, like that style of metal right now does it for me more than something like Hurt. Where I fester on it and I really think about it and I feel it on a deeper level. And something like Doom Switch or Sovereign by Bleed From Within lets it out right now. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's regression or if that's just changing how my brain handles stress.
Well, it's like, I know it's not entirely relatable, but like they say bullies bully people because they're dealing with shit, and it's their way of dealing with it, and they'd rather inflict pain to deal with their
Where I
own
come
pain.
from, bullies get bullied.
Right. They'd rather like hurt other people to help them deal with their own pain, and some of that aggressive stuff without like punching someone in the face helps you deal with your own shit without
Hurting
actually
somebody else.
being, someone out there hurting somebody else.
Yeah, it's like you are releasing all of your anger and angst and frustration and pissed offness in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Instead of listening to a 3-minute 20-second song that's really sad and you like feel everything and then you start like, because what I noticed, God, we're really going down a wormhole here.
Let's go.
No, it's fine. Like what I noticed, and it's been over the past, I don't know, it's probably been since my son came along. It just kind of, your brain chemistry changes when you become a parent and all that shit. I noticed that like the slower sad songs made me like hurt more. I'm like, no, that's not what I want to do. Whereas like when it was just me and I was like single and by myself, like those made the shit go away. I talked about how like lowest point in my life, Nutshell, like took me out of that place. Well, like nowadays it's like, now I just feel sorry for myself when I listen to that shit. But if I listen to fucking 1984 by Slaughter to Prevail or something like that, it just like, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
Now I'm like re-energized and I'm
gonna
like,
fight this fucking beast.
Yeah, it's like it's the opposite. I don't feel sorry for myself. I'm like, oh, okay, well that pissed off and aggression is gone. Like I'm good now. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a change in your brain chemistry, getting older, life changing events, shit like that. So I don't know, man. It's just, I guess it's not regression. It's just change.
Yep.
It's change.
Shout
with
out
it.
Candlebox.
Oh God, I love Candlebox. I fucking love Candlebox. Anyways, but yeah, it's just a change within how your body wants to deal with certain situations.
Okay.
Or
so,
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Interesting to hear you guys' take on that, and I guess I'm gonna go ahead and shoot this real quick.
I'm gonna smack this right quick. Oh fuck.
So what had me thinking about this topic? The last couple years of my life have been really fucking difficult. And I've dealt with, we brought up, look, when we brought up Wage War and we brought up Me Against Myself, and I kind of talked a little bit about what that song meant to me, it really, really connected with how I felt when I thought of this topic, because I've been dealing with a lot of shit over the last couple of years, and outside of, what support I get from friends and family, I'm really going on at it alone. You know what I mean? I don't have someone at home asking me how my day was. What can I do? What can I do to help you? What can I do to help support, the household or whatever it is. And, I kind of touched on a little bit on Derek's episode the last time he was on, where it's like, I listen to some of the stuff I listen to because, like, I'm a fucking single dad trying to maintain a household by myself in a world where 2 fucking incomes are necessary. I had a conversation with my ex-wife just the other day, and we were talking about like what I'm expected to earn, and what I'm expected to pay out each month just to keep the fucking household alive. Not save money, not get ahead on anything, just fucking survive. And her fucking jaw hit the fucking floor, because it was like, she was like, yeah, that's about what we have going out, but like we're 2 incomes.
Right, 'cause she's remarried. Yeah.
And I'm sitting here trying to go at it by myself and trying to give my kids the best possible fucking life I can. but it goes much deeper because it's not just that I'm expected to pay these bills and stuff. I'm expected to be a father. I'm expected to be there to help my kids through shit they're dealing with. Like, I got a kid that's about to be going into summer school because if he doesn't, he ain't fucking passing the 3rd grade. And, you know, these kids, they're getting to the age now where they have their own problems and they have their own, like, you know, insecurities and shit that they're dealing with. And they're growing up in a split household, and I've been there. I've lived that, and I'm trying to make it as easy as possible on them. And I'm also dealing with a job where I'm fucking angry every fucking day I walk into the goddamn office. I'm angry every time I leave a fucking appointment because I didn't make a sale, and so therefore I spent money to go to a house and I didn't get fucking paid that day because I'm a commission only sales rep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm dealing with trying to find a new career path that can better support my family and better get me through and hit the goals that I want to hit in life, while also, you know, dealing with this job that doesn't really appreciate what I have to sacrifice to make them successful, and they don't really care what I consider to be successful. And I'm dealing with only having 24 fucking hours in a day, and I'm
Heard that.
expected to do all this shit for work. I'm expected to do all this shit for my kids, and I'm expected to try to get a certain amount of sleep so that I can make it through each fucking day, and also try to pursue things that I love. I mean, look, I'm looking at the clock right now and it's 11:30 on a fucking Monday night, and I got to work in the morning just so that I can enjoy having this conversation with my dudes and being able to do this podcast that I've, like, we're season 3, and I've learned that I love doing what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fucking angry, dude. I'm angry every fucking day because I don't feel that I can live my fucking life. I'm fucking surviving. And it is so hard to be, you know, I recently had a birthday, and I have a bad habit of every time I have a birthday, I kind of recollect what the last year's been like. You know, what did 28 look like for me? 28 looked like I went to a lot of fucking debt to fix up a house that still isn't fixed up the way I want it to be. Working a job I don't fucking like doing anymore. Trying to raise kids that are ever increasing in demand of what I need to do for them. And still just living this lonely fucking life. And I'm fucking angry. And so the, you know, the shit that I've been listening to lately is, I mean, you guys can kind of contest to this. Currents came out. It was a fucking rage.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to that shit. Just, God, it felt so fucking good to let that shit out. Listen to that shit in the gym for the 45 minutes I'm able to allot myself in a day. 45 fucking minutes I can give to myself and try to work through the shit I'm dealing with for 24 fucking hours a day. Just trying to release this anger because, God damn it, I'm fucking pissed, dude. This is not where, you know, we're raised, and I think this is a key source of depression in men our age, because we were fucking promised the fucking world. Work hard, dedicate to something, and you'll be successful, and you can be a fucking lawyer, you can be a doctor, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be, if you set your mind to it and you work hard enough. And I've been working my fucking ass off since I was 16 years old trying to make something of myself, and I still ain't fucking shit. And I'm pissed. And so I listen to this music that's just fucking angry. And like you said, it's allowing me to release those aggressions, those feelings of wanting to, like, look, man, there's days I want to fucking hurt somebody because I got so many people in my fucking life that are fucking asking for it. And I got to find a way to release this aggression and this anger and this need to fucking slap the fuck out of somebody because of the way they fucking talk to me or the way they treat me. Because obviously hitting somebody isn't the fucking answer. And so kind of the whole premise of the thought and the kind of hot take and why I'm listening to what I'm listening to is based around where I'm at in life right now, and kind of what the soundtrack to my life is right now is being fucking pissed off because this isn't what 29 was supposed to look like. This isn't the life that was promised to me or you guys when we were little, saying, hey, go to college, you'll get a great fucking job, work your ass off, you'll get the things that you want in life. And I just want fucking peace, dude. And I don't fucking get it. And I guess that's kind of the end of my rant.
Wouldn't call it a rant. Call it real shit. I mean, you know, bro, I get it. I mean, in different levels, but Preston, I was telling you before the show, it's like, you know, go to the doctor today. My son's, 7 months old. Seems like he's been sick every 2 weeks, and go to the doctor, and he's, you know, like, yep, got another ear infection. You know, he's had 2 ear infections. He's had RSV. He's had 2 different head colds. He's all this shit, and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, he's got asthma, and I'm like, what do you, what? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, this is my baby, my little 7-month-old kid that I do everything in the world to try to protect and keep healthy and all this. And it's like, God, you know, you feel like you do everything right as a parent, and you get kicked in the nuts with something like that. And I told you before the show, it's like, you know, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I shouldn't be, I guess. But, you know, I'm fucking 27 years old and still rent a condo. It's like, and I was telling you, like, bro, I don't know when I'll ever be able to buy a house. This market's insane. I have a 4-year degree. I have what I consider a good job, and I don't make nearly enough money. And I wish nothing more.
World.
I wish nothing more that my woman, my person, the mother of my child, I could tell her to quit her fucking job today and stay home and be a stay-at-home mom with my kids, so he didn't have to go out and be around a bunch of other people and get fucking sick.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that because we can't afford that.
Right.
I can't afford to go buy a house because this market is fucking nuts. I can't afford a 6, 7, 8% interest rate. No. I can't afford a $250,000 house that should be a $120,000 house. So I'm stuck living in fucking town when I grew up out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm fucking miserable. I hate where I live. I hate that my kid's sick all the time. I hate that I make $30,000 less than what I think I should make or what I need to make. And I still make 20 grand more than what the median is, or 25 grand more than what the median income is, and I still don't make enough money. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I'm pissed off too. I'm over everything. I mean, this past weekend was fucking horrible. My kid can't fucking breathe. He's coughing and hacking and puking and sick, and I can't do anything. I mean, I'm giving him medicine, but it don't, you know, I can't do anything.
You feel fucking helpless.
And I'm like, dude, I told Cheyenne, I'm ready to suck on a fucking pistol. Like, I'm just done. Like, life has kicked me in the fucking nuts for the past 6 months. Like, there ain't no tomorrow. And so it's different. You know, I'm fortunate enough that, you know, I do have somebody that I can go through this with, and you know, you're going through it a lot more than what I am, but you know, I've been paying my way out of debt. You know, when I was in college, my dumb ass didn't work. I built up a bunch of debt from not working because I was focused on school and you know, and I'm still paying that shit off, and I've been doing real good. And but it's like, God, am I ever going to get ahead? Can I ever save any fucking money? No. Medical bills, you know, fucking all this other shit that comes up. You're trying to pay off debt. You're trying to pay medical bills. You're trying to somehow save $20 here and there, and you just can't do it because fucking milk costs $3 a gallon now when it used to cost $1. And it's, you know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to get political, but we live in fucking Joe Biden's America, and, you know, can't afford to buy a house. It's just, I mean, this is a terrible time to be raising kids, and all three of us are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, trying to do our best at it. And, yeah, man, you know, the aggression, the anger. I mean, I want to beat the fuck out of somebody 90% of my day. My dad is my boss, and if my dad wasn't my boss, I'd have been fired already, because I get so fucking fed up with some of the people I work with. Not that I work with on a daily basis, but that are in infrastructure. And I probably should be careful what I say, because people that I work with listen to the show. But you know what? I don't really give a fuck. But I get fucking fed up, and I have to filter shit through my dad where I'm like, bro, I'm going to fucking beat the brakes off somebody if some shit doesn't change. And, you know, I want to run my fucking bike into a telephone pole half the time. Not literally, but, you know, figuratively. And when I listen to fucking Make Them Suffer, I let it all out, baby.
It's gone.
I let it all
It's
out.
such a relief.
It's like a reset button, man.
Yep.
You talk about the new Currents record. When I listen to that shit, it's like a reset button, dude. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go again. Hit me again, because I know that I can make it go away. I've yet to find a problem that music isn't the solution to.
Absolutely.
I have yet to find a problem. I'm going to get that fucking, I've got a lot of tattoos, and I'm going to get this one fucking tattooed on me. I have yet to find a problem that music isn't the solution to.
Yep.
I'm not a drunk. I like to, we partake. We partake. We like to drink a little bit every now and then, but I don't resort to alcohol or weed or whatever it is to solve my problems.
Yep.
Music is my drug. That sounds so cliche and dumb as fuck, but it's a fact. Music is my drug. Music is my alcohol. It's my outlet. It's my release. It saves my life every day, man. And the shit that I listen to reflects that. And I'm just like you lately, bro. I've been pissed the fuck off. And music has I'm sitting here with a smile on my face because, man, I was jamming some shit when I pulled in the driveway today. Like, it's just, you know, it's that reset button that just, you know, we're sitting here again. It's 11:30 at night, and I've got to stay home with a sick kid tomorrow. But I'm in a good mood because of the music I'm listening to, the conversations that we're having about music, and this podcast has been a form of that music for me. That it's just a release, and I get to let it all out.
It's the same thing as what sports does for us.
Oh, yeah.
You know? It's such a release from the day-to-day bullshit that we all go through, deal with.
Work
experience.
Sucks. Life sucks.
Yep.
And it's just, I haven't played golf once this year. I love golf, but I haven't had time to go play golf because of the shit that I've been dealing with.
Yep.
Golf is a release like that for me.
Absolutely,
but I haven't had the
for me.
opportunity to do it, but I can always listen to music.
You get out on that golf course and nothing else, as long as your phone's not going off the whole fucking time.
And I put that shit on D&D,
yeah.
bro.
Nothing else matters, man.
But
and I think that was a good piece to hit on, just because I'm sure there's so many of the listeners that feel the exact.
Oh my god.
Maybe not the exact same situation, but feel the exact.
Nobody goes
same
through
way.
the exact same situation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's people out there obviously dealing with worse shit than I am, but like, dude, it's so fucking difficult to just survive anymore. Like, we're all
just getting by.
We're all just getting by,
Yeah.
and you know, I guess, you know, the front end of that conversation was being judgmental towards people listening to other kinds of music that we think is like maybe lesser.
Huge piece.
And it's like, you know, almost everybody listens to some kind of music as a release, and maybe they just aren't as musical as us, and maybe they aren't looking into the music as deep as us. and because of that, more of the mainstream, more of the simplistic music out there is what they connect with. And there's obviously stuff out there that is more mainstream that covers conversations like struggling through life and struggling through depression, struggling through anxiety, and struggling through whatever the fuck you're dealing with on the day to day. And it's just that, for me, what I've been listening to lately, it's been kind of a mix of this really aggressive, almost deathcore shit a lot, trying to deal with the anger of what I'm dealing with, and then trying to listen to some of my good mood music that can somewhat bring me into a more positive mindset before I go into work and stuff. That way I'm kind of releasing the anger, and then I'm listening to stuff that's kind of brightening my mood a little bit so that I can fucking deal with people, because dude, it is so fucking hard to deal with people.
I hate people.
When
and that's
you
what I do
are
for a living.
when you are already fucking angry.
Maybe I'm weird, and it might just be me out of the three of us, but the aggressive music actually does put me in a good mood.
It does me as well.
The aggression, it's a double-edged sword for me. It's very twofold. The more aggressive the music is, the better mood it puts me in, because I get that stank face going. And I'm just like, fucking,
Yep.
And I mean, when I'm head bobbing and I'm vibing to something that's super aggressive and super heavy and super mean, I just get that feeling of I'm invincible. And it might just be me. Now, there is the lighter hearted stuff that does put me in a good mood. But for me, the more aggressive it is, the better mood it puts me in. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because it's like, yep, I'm not the only one that's feeling this. Life's all right. I'm good. I'm good. I don't know. Maybe there's listeners out there that are listening, are like, yeah, I felt that. Like I love the more, that just everybody's different. And I guess my advice to all of our listeners is, I don't give a shit what it is. Find your release. Find your passion.
And make sure it's something positive.
Find your outlet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Positive. Don't go and fucking do drugs or be an alcoholic or fucking punch holes in walls unless it's a meaningless wall. But find your outlet. Go play golf.
Load-bearing wall go fall right down on your head.
Go jump on a motorcycle like I do, or go
take a cold shower in the morning.
Yeah,
take a 30-minute walk.
Go for a run. Go to the gym. Go do whatever it is that you know is going to release that stress, because Tyler and I can speak to it firsthand. If you let that shit, if you carry that shit and you don't release it and you let it just eat you up inside, you are never going to survive. You're not going to. Or you might survive, but you're going to be an absolutely fucking miserable person every day of your life.
You're going to make other people miserable.
You're going to make everybody around you. My dad told me one of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever heard in my life. Shout out, Jamie. I love you, buddy. If you perpetuate your misery on other people for long enough, no matter how close they are to you, they will eventually cut you off and walk away from you.
I got something to say.
Go ahead, buddy.
You hit on it perfect.
No,
So it's funny you say that, because me and Tyler work together, and we've been finding ways to complain as of late. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes, you have the right to. Other times, you fall in this deep, dark hole of becoming I can't catch a break guy. We all know.
Yeah.
We all know those people that
feeling sorry for themselves.
I can't catch a break, and they say it out loud. Man, I just can't catch a break.
What does Bo say? They're saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. I just can't catch a break. Why does this happen to me? Woe is me. And Joe Rogan did a podcast a while back, and there was a reel on TikTok or on Facebook that I had seen. I think it was yesterday. And he talks about the I can't catch a break guys. Get the fuck away.
Get away from them.
Get away from them.
Absolutely.
Get the fuck away from them.
If you
have those kind of people in your life,
bro,
immediately get the fuck away.
I'm telling you, there is a guy, and I'm not going to call him out, but there's a guy that works for my company that is that way. That will, like, when I first started, and kind of got to know him. He's from a different state. He would call me all the time, like, "Oh, this fucking shit, blah blah, fucking,
Yep.
I'm tired of
We're
this shit.
me and him are
fucking,
guilty of it.
I'm blah 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 blah," and I'm like, "Bro,
Yep.
like I don't answer his phone calls anymore because I know he's just wanting to bitch
Just
about
gonna
something.
bitch.
Just gonna
Yep.
bitch about something. You
Yep.
know what? Everybody's fucking life sucks, dude.
Yep.
It's okay to let it out and talk about it amongst your your best, your closest people. That's who you're supposed to vent to and talk to shit like that about. But if you just constantly do it and you constantly let it fester and it's the same thing over and over and over
find
again
yourself in a hole with nobody else.
because nobody wants to hear it.
Yep.
You think I talk to this shit about anybody but y'all? Because
Right.
I promise you I don't.
I believe it.
Because y'all are my best friends and I can bitch to you guys about shit. And I've been bitching to you for 17 years. So it's like, but if you, especially like the mood, like if you are just constantly miserable around people and just like, oh my God, my fucking life sucks and I just can't catch a break and woe is me. I don't want to be around that
Nope.
all the time.
Nope.
Well, it's also
You listen, you go through more shit than just about anybody I fucking know. And 90% of the time, you're the most positive motherfucker I know, too. You're always in a goddamn good mood. But when you get a chance like this to let it out, you let it out. But then when it's done, you're done. You're like, I'm not going to fucking mope about it.
Yep.
I'm not going to sit around and bitch about, oh my God, my life sucks. You got to get it out sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to get it out. But you cannot let it just fucking fester.
Well, I think part of it too is, I was saying earlier in regards to the song "Me Against Myself" is there's got to be a gut check there where it's like, Preston and I had conversations years ago when he and I first started hanging out because I've been going through kind of a mindset reset kind of journey for years now, and just I didn't really grow up with a very good mindset, and I've had to learn these I guess skills and practices and ways of looking at life. And at one point I had to stop and realize that almost every bad thing that has happened to me in my life, as at least since I was like fucking 12 or 13, the majority of it was because of a decision or a choice that I made that led to this position.
Led to a specific outcome and result.
Right. And
oh
so
no,
the
consequences
position
of my own actions.
Yeah.
and that gut check that comes from that. But once you adopt that mindset, you really take control of your life. And to be honest, a lot of the anger that I've been feeling lately has been towards myself.
Yeah.
And you're
And
projecting it a little bit, maybe.
And I do project it a little bit, but it's like, how the fuck have I let myself fall into the position that I'm in right now where money's a problem, home life's a problem, work's a problem. I'm working for a company that I don't love working for anymore. And, relationships, I've chosen not to be in a relationship, and I've chose to go in this alone so that I can focus on other things in my life, work and kids and music and all this other shit. And all these decisions have led me to the way I feel right now. And I'm fucking angry at myself just as much as I am angry at the fucking world.
Felt that shit.
It's so hard to recognize that and deal with it in a way where it's like, okay, so what do I need to do to change this and better my life and try to find happiness? And that's kind of why I started looking for a new job. It's why I started looking for kind of a new career path, and that's why I've kind of started changing my mindset around relationships. And that's why, the last year or so, a little over a year, I've really been focusing a lot on my kids and their issues and really parenting to, I guess the best way to frame it up is I actually met a customer where him and his dad have like this ministry out in Wyoming or something like that. And some of the things that they teach are very based in religion, and it's very religious in the way that they practice this. I'm not a very religious person, but what I took from this is that you have to pay attention to the heart. And so the heart is that inner piece of yourself, what makes you you. And if you were to welcome someone, if you were to compare your heart and the inner you to a house, it's like you can let people into, that living room right when you walk in the door, and it's like you never let anybody anywhere else in the house because you're afraid to share what else is in the house. You leave the living room a nice clean place for people to see, but you don't let them in the rest of the rooms to see what kind of a fucking mess it is. And not allowing people into my heart has led to me not being able to step into other people's heart. And that has become a problem for my parenting, because I'm not parenting towards my kids' hearts. I'm not parenting towards what's going on inside them. And so that's been a real problem for me over the last year or so, is recognizing that my kids are growing older. I mean, my oldest kid's about to turn fucking 10, and I'm trying to deal with what do I have to do to parent according to their heart. And that's a real fucking problem. And the fact that I didn't realize it before, and by the time I did realize it, it was almost late in the game to really start doing so, and then I'm still trying to fucking learn how to do it. And like there's just so many life choices that I've made that have led me to this point where I'm at now, where I'm just angry about the way I've lived my life, the way my life has turned out. And it's not so much that my life is that bad, it's that I'm so fucking angry with myself that I've allowed it to be as bad as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And dude, it's rough.
Yeah, man. I mean, the day that a person actually looks in the mirror and takes responsibility for their own actions instead of blaming the world for it is the day that real change and growth can begin. And the reason that I had to start, I had debt to pay off, was because of my own actions. It's like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you can take responsibility for your own actions, you can start making real change in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And just to kind of close that out from, I guess not necessarily a super religious standpoint, but that gospel that you just spoke about, I've heard so many times before. And basically what that is about is what he's referring to. You didn't say it out loud, but is allowing Jesus Christ into your heart, and
Right.
not just the pretty shit of, I no, it's the sin, it's the bad, it's the
Mm-hmm.
I fucked up here, or
Mm-hmm.
it is because, and again, you're not a super religious person, and I get that, and I'm not about to get preachy, but Jesus loves you for all of you. He died for your sins. He died for our sins. He loves you for your good, your bad, your ugly, all of it, right? And when you allow the right people into your heart to see the good, the bad, the ugly, it can help heal you. When you allow certain music into your heart, it can help heal you.
When you allow yourself to connect to music that you don't want to admit that you connect to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
We just brought that shit full circle. People are probably like, wow, this went from a music podcast to a Dr. Phil podcast.
Jesus.
No, it all comes back to the music of the sound. And Derek just said probably the greatest line that I've ever heard ever.
Yep.
And it's the soundtrack to your life. And it changes on a daily basis. And it's all about where you're at that certain moment in your life, and knowing what music it is that's going to help you at that point. And it goes back to your point of judgment. And I have to be better at it. I mean, I know a lot of people that have to be better, but just me personally, I have to be better at understanding that just because something doesn't speak to me doesn't mean it doesn't speak to this person or that person or
Yep.
whatever, because it does.
Yep.
Everybody's different. We all have those songs or those records or those bands that speak to us at certain points in our life. Good, happy, sad, whatever. So it's all about knowing yourself and opening up your heart and mind to something that's going to help you. Or if you're feeling good about something, continue to make you feel good about it. Because we all want to be in a good place all the time. It's just not realistic. So it all comes back to that. And I think that was a fantastic way to end a season 1 premiere. Season 1. Episode 1, season 3 premiere.
We fucking did it.
Yeah, bro.
Ta-da!
We've talked about it all tonight, everybody, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And I hope you guys learned something, or at least relate to something. You know, we're not your cookie cutter news story podcast. It's just going to only tell you about what's going on in the metal scene today. You can fucking get on Twitter and find that information out. And I'm not smashing podcasts that do that, but I'm also saying that we might be a little better than those guys because we're giving you a little more. So kiss my ass.
And
Don't be
A7X
judgmental
sucks.
now.
And A7X sucks, but don't be judgmental. So I hope you guys have learned something, and I hope you guys have related to something that we've said, and at least enjoy, the conversation, the vulnerability that we always want to give you guys. We're as real as it fucking gets. We don't pull any punches. We tell y'all all about our fucking lives on a daily basis, and we hope that you can relate to it in some way, shape, or form, and find solace and find inclusivity and feel a part of the brotherhood that is the Screaming Idiots show, because that's what we want you guys to do, right? You guys have any other closing comments? Or
No, I think we've hit on several big pieces tonight. Just be a part of this with us.
yeah, tell your friends, tell your family members, anybody that you know or yourself or that's maybe going through something that could that needs somebody to feel how they feel, or at least can relate in some way, shape, or form. We want you guys to be a part of this with us, and we're all on a journey to provide music and insight to everybody who might not have that outlet and that brotherhood to express themselves in. And that's what this music we listen to, and that's what this show is all about. We've said it over and over. It's the soundtrack to our lives. We hope this podcast and this show and us are a part of that soundtrack, just even a small fraction of it, even if it's just us interpreting what the music means. So thank you guys and gals so much for listening. As always, we love you. We appreciate the shit out of you. We hope that you're ready for a fucking kick-ass season 3, because it's going to be the best one yet. Again, make sure you follow all of our social medias at TSIS Podcast to keep up with everything that's going on. Reach out to us. Let us know what you think about the shows. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a review, whatever you want. You let us know. We want to interact with you guys and hear from you guys. Again, we love and appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, we are the Screaming Idiots, and we'll see you next week.
Peace, love, dove.